need a DM Roy
Yeah,
screen.
Roy needs his spot on there too.
I could not agree more. Roy needs
Need a
his
cartoon
spot.
Roy.
I need a cartoon Roy. All right. Speaking of cartoon Roys, here we are, Thursday night, D&D with Edgelords and Murder Hobos, the fantastic group here at Nerdly Gaming. We are streaming live as we do every Thursday. Oh, we got bees in the house already. That's fantastic. Good to see you there, bees.
Bees.
Yeah, so the intro is it's cool and neat, and it's work in progress. We'll get some more in there. We're gonna have, in fact, I'm gonna get the player portraits and or videos, and we'll get some DM stuff in there. So we'll do that. So the trigger, of course, is the music, like getting the music to the right length of time and stuff. So it's pretty fun stuff, I gotta admit.
Then we need to not my voiceover, but we should get like a proper good voiceover.
Yeah, you know, the voice is okay, but I don't know if I like the voiceover in.
I don't know if you even need a voiceover.
Yeah, I think the music, in my opinion, the music does pretty well. Hey, look, if you guys that are tuning in or that watches on YouTube, let us know if you think a cool voiceover would be cool. We could definitely set that up.
Still needs the music too. Like it needs to be the whole encompassing is what I was thinking.
Yeah. I played it out with the music with your voiceover, and it sounded kind of cool. I like the music. You know, it's just kind of cool that the music sort of runs itself. But you know, I'm open minded. We'll see. So yeah, so it's Thursday. Let's see what's new. So we got a slightly improved intro. That's kind of cool. We also have, thanks to Fox. Nope, there. We have the merch store. Is it officially open? Maybe it's a soft opening. We have a soft opening.
I mean, you can go in order. Go in order. So
we have a soft opening of the merch store. So you're able to go there. I think we can do orders. I'm maybe not even sure. We haven't tested the orders. Let's just call it a
I mean, I can test the orders right now if you want me to go buy a crop top.
No.
I took it all the way to checkout to the point where like everything's set up, but you're not like I didn't actually go through and pay because I don't have money until the 15th. So.
Well, we're gonna do we can do. We still have to do samples and stuff like that because I can like get samples and stuff. So we'll take care of all that.
Add commands to the.
So forget what I said about
just shop.
The store officially opening. This is the soft opening, which means that we're just gonna open it, but we're not gonna tell anyone.
We're still flaccid.
Right.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
That was very early.
I wasn't ready.
In the game.
It starts already.
I don't even have
Gotta
any
live up to
bourbon.
the name. You can't call yourself edgelords and murder hobos without starting some edgy stuff right off the bat.
How can I start D&D without bourbon nearby? What am I doing? But by next week, I do expect we will have the merch store with our official first piece of merchandise. So now what we need is more merchandise ideas, cool ideas, things we can give to our super cool artist and get that in there and sell those.
I believe there were talks of an Auntie Ruth seduction haka.
Oh God, no.
What?
Fried eggs and everything. We need the fried eggs on a nail.
That's not. Oh, that's.
No one wants that.
Everybody picture fried eggs on a nail now.
No,
That.
don't. All right, Fox. Look.
Fox is banned. Someone time Fox out of the game.
We're about to have a bourbon break in the first 5 minutes of the stream here. Hang on. But yeah, it's Thursday night. So we're glad to be here. Thanks for joining us once again. We are on episode 13 of our 14. That's what I said. For episode 14 of our epic-ish sort of ventures here in the city of Waterdeep. This is great stuff. As always, I think John, you've got our weekly recap.
Set of notes.
Yeah, sure.
While John is recapping, can you long rest us?
Yes, I can. In fact, with John's recaps, I got time to actually take a long rest. They're so detailed.
So last week we picked up after being dropped off by the Great Bronze Dragon Zelfarn at the boat out in Waterdeep Harbor.
I long rested.
After that, the crew kind of gave us all a wide berth as they didn't know what to make of a party that has been talking to a dragon, so we kind of spooked them a little bit. And with that, we decided to head straight back to the Blackstaff to report on dealing with the dragon and telling her how friendly and great to work with Zelfarn was.
Mhm.
So we get to the Blackstaff and we explain our whole encounter with Zelfarn to her, and she's actually pleasantly surprised that we were able to make friends with the dragon and that we can now contact him again.
She didn't know how cool we were.
Using a good old thunder wave or equivalent sound at the top of the water.
It got several points in there.
We also end up asking her about the talking shark in the waters, and she thinks it may be a druidic magic that may have awoken some intelligence in the shark to make him able to speak. After that, she says that she'll honor her end of the deal and get her supplier of Zalantar tree to work with Rashal, the scholar in nearby Trollskull Manor that runs the scribe shop there, as long as he makes an oath to not do any dealings with the Xanathar. Then Jake gets into asking about what would be required to join the Greyhands. During this, Elona's very nonplussed at the idea and makes it known with
wow, look at John bringing out the vocabulary. Get out of here. Come on.
some
We're an
crude
education
comments.
channel now.
And the Blackstaff tells us that the Greyhounds are quite exclusive and that they need to know that the members are willing to be loyal to the city of Waterdeep. They are invitation only, and you must swear a oath to the city, and that the Greyhounds actually do sometimes work in gray manners, so it's not like a just right kind of deal. After that, Cole starts asking about his vision. He's been seeing bodies missing in the City of the Dead. The Blackstaff isn't actually aware of anything going on in the cemetery, but she says that Ambrose Everdawn, captain of the guard in that area, would have more information. Or he's a knight of the watch. He might not be the captain.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, or he's a person in charge of that area, the City of the Dead.
After that, Jake is a bit of a kiss-ass to Vaja about her being a great leader.
When am I not?
And that he's definitely interested in joining the Greyhands. And she tells him that those are the right words. See that you continue to live by them.
Sassy, man.
So we begin to head back to Rashal the Scribe near our Trollskull Manor. But on the way, we managed to pass by 3 bulky, large gentlemen, or 2 men and a half-orc that are crowded around a gambling table.
The
and
high-stakes gamblers.
Playing some dice. We didn't learn about their game for a bit, but it turned out to be pretty high stakes. When Elona approaches interested in joining the game, one of them says, the half-orc says, "Not bad for a female." And she gets a little bit angry at that and is ready to throw down, but instead they throw down some dice to start. Though the stakes are very high, the person that loses and has the lowest roll has to chop off their hand. And the highest roll gets to take the whole pot of money. So it's 10 gold per for the round, and luck was with Elona. She actually rolls very well. And the biggest of the lot, the strongest of the lot, Arnie, ends up losing the first round, and with very little hesitation just goes and brings out a hand axe and bam, chops off his left hand.
Rules are rules.
I lost, so I have to do this.
So, after a short bit of convincing, Elona says that the hand's in the pot, so she gets to win it too, and actually takes Arnie's hand.
Still in my
But
inventory.
she's not done there. She wants to play another round. So this time Arnie's like, "I'm out. I only got one hand to lose." But the other two, Bob the half-orc, Bob the human, still in the play. And Elona actually still ends up rolling very, not quite as well, but still pretty good. And then it was half-orc Bob rolled just below her and was like, "Nah, I can beat it." And then he rolled even lower. And the other Bob rolled and kept his hand. So half-orc Bob was going to be the loser, but he's such a sore loser, he accused Elona of cheating, which she actually didn't cheat. It's amazing.
We actually wanted
we
to.
really were ready
The
to.
party was ready to try to cheat for her, but she was rolling straight and was accused of cheating. And unfortunately, half-orc Bob was able to convince his friends that she actually was a cheater. And so a fight broke out right in the street, or kind of off the side of the street there with everyone around the table. What ends up happening is these three blokes are actually very accomplished fighters, Arnie in particular, as he brings out his axe, and Elona puts up a pretty good fight, but
No, I don't.
he's able to take her down, and
destroyed.
She just survives by the skin of her teeth with her orcish endurance. And before the fight can continue, the guard is heard coming as people had shouted for the guard. And we're able to convince Arnie that maybe they should lay down the fight, as he was attacking a noble and their friends. As the guard was coming, Zavroski had managed to slip back into the crowd and started shouting about how the brutes had attacked these poor people, unarmed people, start hacking at them, and convinced the crowd to be completely on the party side about how Arnie and his goons had been the perpetrators and caused the whole ordeal.
One of the more brilliant things I've seen in a long time, actually. Zavroski.
It was so awesome. Good.
And from that, the guards take some questions, but with all the whole crowd being completely on our side, just seemed to arrest Arnie, Bob, and take them off. Elona still had her first round winnings, but unfortunately the gold from the second round had disappeared in all the commotion.
Rude.
As she was recovering from almost getting knocked down.
Question: how do you manacle somebody that doesn't have a hand?
Ankles.
Further up the bicep.
Yeah, right above the elbow.
There you go.
I don't know. That's a good question though. It's a very good question. Yeah, so they're probably not going to be your best friends or your biggest fans here.
Neither is Minuteman. Yeah. We're fine.
So we've made a good enemy in Arnie and Bob.
Whatever.
We can take them.
We've probably made an enemy of an entire gang.
This is true. So after that, a bit bruised and Elona very bloody from the ordeal, we continue on our way back to Trollskull and decide to visit Rashal first to give him the great news about the Blackstaff and the Zelentor tree for helping deal with the protester fallout in the streets about the Duskwood note being used for scrolls. So now Rashal can use the Zelentar tree, which won't be killing these Duskwood trees, and Follow will be appeased, and Rashal will be happy, hopefully, with the outcome. We did mention that we worked with the Blackstaff to Rashal, and he gave us quite the warning that the Blackstaff will always use you in ways that you don't necessarily want. It's kind of his warning.
And maybe some ways that Jake does want.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Jake wants to be used by the Blackstaff in every way.
Make me your tool, baby.
Ugh.
Lord. Oh, man.
I need an adult.
Oh.
And with that, Zavroski peruses the store a bit, but they still get a discount on something a bit bigger than just a book that Zavroski ends up picking up. And after that, Fala is very overjoyed to hear about Rashal changing away from the Duskwood tree. She wants to hear about all of our adventures with the Blackstaff and everything that happened, and she actually tells us that she runs a potion shop nearby. So we got a bit of a discount, picked up a few potions from her, and then decided that it was time to go back to the bar and rest up, as Elona was still quite hurt. She hadn't taken anything at this point, so we have a good old short rest up, and then can't remember how exactly it started, but Elona.
Jake and Cole can.
Instigations.
But
You're welcome, everybody.
Elona was instigated by Cole and Jake that challenge Zavroski to a drinking contest, as he's quite the drinker, they said. And that he could probably take Elona, and she would not back down to the challenge. And eventually everyone convinced
Shocker.
Zavroski to... oh, but I forgot before this, she had also taken a good amount of wish.
Woo!
So
That's
she
how the
was...
drinking contest conversation started. Is she said she would offer some to Zav, but he doesn't do anything fun. And then Cole and Jake jumped in saying he's
Quite the
fun.
drinker.
He's
Yeah.
quite the drinker.
Turns out Zav
And,
can be a bit of fun.
So a drinking contest started, and Zavroski had quite the upper hand because Elona was out of it on wish while drinking.
So I was like, how do I relay this part of the story without,
So he ends up winning pretty handily because
yeah.
Elona passed out after 6 drinks, something like that.
It was 8.
Zavroski got to 8. Did you get to 8 too?
She got to 8, and then as soon as 8 hit
Okay.
the
Yeah, I
ground,
think that's right.
Timber.
That's how Zavroski won. Is 8.
8th drink. So Zavroski was pretty drunk still. And,
Apparently.
But,
As you can tell
he
from our
gave us
highlight.
a beautiful verse to that song.
he gets into his verses of the Great Dragon Zelfarn. Talks about how it's still a work in progress, but then decides to get up on stage after shouting if people want to hear him play, and has a great drunken performance. And the bar has a great party that night with additional drinking games where people have to stack shot glasses on Elona's passed out body, and whoever knocks it down has to pay for the round of glasses or shots that were piled up.
Good times.
At the end of the night, Jake starts doing his usual play on Elona by drawing a mustache on her face, and Zavroski recommends he uses disguise kit, and Jake ends up putting the
I
pirate
forgot!
costume on Elona.
Yes! Oh man, I am so
Revenge is a
excited
bitch.
for this morning.
I should know that right now.
And it's like, okay, how do I not kill John's character for this tomorrow? How do I not
She doesn't
actually
know.
kill him?
Jake said he would take the fall for it, and I'm pretty
Oh
sure.
yeah,
he did.
definitely would take the
Yeah.
fall for it, because I mean it would be something that she was used to from when we were younger and getting into that kind of
He's
trouble.
also used to the fact he's about to get a wedgie.
So with a big
Joke's on you.
"Arr"
I don't
in
wear
the
underwear
morning-
anymore.
Well, she's just gonna rip your pants then.
So with a big "Arr" in the morning as she woke up from being passed out in her
Fuck you
now in
guys.
her pirate costume, Elona woke up to everyone in the common room with Auntie Ruth stopping by. And there was a bit of banter as Auntie Ruth brought her some bagels for everyone and was talking with Jake
Oh,
and
shit.
Elona
Yeah.
about, of course, always bringing up how they should be together before she leaves. And then after that, walked in Renair.
Well,
And
Renair
he
actually got there.
genuinely-
Renair actually got there. He sort of prompted her to leave. He got there. Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, I see you. I see you guys have an important friend here to talk to. Oh, he's a handsome one.
And
Oh,
she was trying to hit on him.
look,
He's
Nick.
probably used to it.
Can't blame a girl,
trying
you
to add
know?
him to the fireplace.
Yeah. We love men who clean up the ashes, or are the ashes.
Men
Either one.
belong in the ashes. Yeah. Yeah.
And with that, Renair actually came to apologize for being a noble ass to everyone, and how he was just out of sorts that night. He wouldn't normally ask for a nobles only party. He actually he likes to think of himself as someone that's a bit more like the common folk, I believe.
He's a wannabe Jake.
A
Or at least
haughty-
trying to-
He
yeah.
doesn't want to be a haughty noble, and he actually wants to do more work with us.
Or at least trying to, definitely at a minimum get out from under the shadow of his father, who was the previous
Jake.
open lord of Waterdeep and this
Wannabe Jake.
huge noble, in the limelight of everything. So that's definitely something he's trying to
And
avoid.
right as he's explaining that he wants to work with us again, he's
I'm
about
dying.
to tell us something, and An explosion from outside shoots open the door as a bit of flames shoot through as we see a great fireball have exploded outside.
Fucking Auntie Ruth.
Auntie Ruth either did it or is dead.
I'm a little worried about Auntie Ruth.
I am too.
Potential rip Auntie Ruth. And that's where we are.
I remember that was an unpleasant ending. I was worried about Auntie Ruth all week.
Yep.
Yeah, so it does in fact, and as the scene opens this week, you guys are sitting in the tap room of the what the hell's the name of this place? The Spirits
of the Hydra.
Spirits of the Hydra. Yes. Sorry. Sitting in the tap room of the Spirits of the Hydra, sort of talking with Rhaenyra, having this sort of heart to heart, and Auntie Ruth just leaves, and you guys just start chatting with Rhaenyra, and you hear this. Ooh, let me do it again. You hear this giant explosion just outside. Where's my notes? Hold on. I wrote this. I have a writing. Yep, and the as the windows rattle and the roar of this explosion fills Trollskull Alley, you hear screams and thuds as people outside are caught in the blast. The sound of bodies falling, and there's a thick cloud of acrid smoke that billows outward into the tavern through the door, as this event seems to have happened right outside the door of the tavern. What are you doing?
Running for the door. Let's see what's
Yeah,
going
definitely.
on out there.
Especially since my Auntie Ruth was just right there. Like, I want to definitely go and make sure she's okay.
My favorite person in Jake's family was out there.
All right.
Truth.
So you go out and you find yourselves in this scene of carnage just outside the door. It looks, from what you can tell, apparently there was some sort of blast that might have happened roughly in the street outside your door, and there are bodies sort of thrown all about. There are a handful of people that are in the alley, people that live there, as well as maybe a passerby or two that are all sort of outside of the area of effect, that are just sort of looking on in shock and awe. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 bodies of people laying about the ground out here as a quick count, and these are a couple of them are moving barely. Most of them are motionless, and the reek of burned flesh sort of assails your nostrils as you come out here, and apparently some big explosion happened just outside the door.
Auntie Ruth!
You guys,
how does the outside of the tavern look?
Not my concern right now.
Elona goes out. She's like, "What?" She turns around. The tavern. How is it?
What the fuck?
The tavern.
Spent a lot of money on that.
The tavern fared pretty well. It's fairly scorched in the front. One of the railing that was in front of the door area, that's in bad shape now. It's actually a little bit on fire. There's a couple of places that actually have a little flame still burning there, but by and large the tavern is a little scorched but relatively unscathed. There are... All right, so what are you guys doing? So Elona's checking out the damage to the tavern. Zavroski, what are you doing in this?
He's going to be jumping in to see who will survive if he gives them some magic healing.
Okay, Cole, what's your plan?
Cole will be trying to see if anybody saw what happened.
Okay, you're going to go talk to witnesses. And Jake, what are you planning on doing?
Clearly looking for Auntie Ruth. I gotta find Auntie Ruth, either her body or Auntie Ruth herself, to make sure she got clear of the blast.
All right, so Cole, you head out to witnesses. The people that are like over there, they're like there. About half of them are like, and they sort of run and scatter. The people that you recognize as locals here, they sort of like come over timidly, kind of tentatively, trying to look and see what's going on. So you'll have a chance to definitely talk with some of them if you want. And I gave you the description of the of the manor.
Once she sets out the little bits of fire that are there, she'll help Jake find Auntie Ruth.
Yeah, Jake. There are a few halflings. There are mostly humans. There's a gnome, and there is an elderly female human lying burnt and charred on the ground. And as you turn her over, you do recognize the remaining visage of what was Auntie Ruth.
No!
Her face.
Damn you! Damn you all to hell!
The left side of her face is charred and blackened and just almost melting off of the skull. And apparently the left side of her body took the brunt of the blast. And she, at least you think she died quickly, but she is clearly very, very dead. Let's see. Zavroski.
What was Rainier with us still, or had he left as well?
No, he's with you guys. He had kind of come
He
in.
was
So
mid-sentence talking to us.
yeah, he came in and kind of Auntie Ruth sort of like, checked him out for a second. And then she's like, okay, let me go. You guys talk. And then she walked out. He set it down and you guys started talking. And then like within seconds, not immediately, but within less than a minute.
Yeah.
And
I'm
Zavroski,
very sad, Roy.
there, let's see. There is...
Jake's just holding Auntie Ruth. Just... No, it was too soon.
He was only 85.
She was so
many
young.
More, she had so many more men
much
to
more to
kill.
give.
She had so many more men to kill. God damn. Oh, Auntie Ruth.
Looks like Timora wasn't looking down on Auntie Ruth today.
No, apparently not. Maybe you should, consider looking into a different god.
Possibly Kellenvor at this point.
Fair.
I wish I knew what that meant.
Kellenvor is the god of death.
Ah.
Oh, because I spelled it wrong because I'm an idiot. Okay. Yeah, so most of the people here, Zav, are dead. There is one person who is sort of laying there and that is still alive. He was sort of on the edge of the blast, seemingly maybe caught on the end. Badly burned and sort of on the ground and seems to be sort of in really bad shape. But this might be a guy that you could survive, save if you wanted to minister to him.
He just says a enchanting word towards him as some feeling of life.
Oh, well, okay. He is
Kind of like goes through and like clears up his throat from any burns and stuff so he can breathe better and perks him
Good
up.
guy, Zav.
sure. He sort of sits there and he's like, oh, and magic hits him. He's like, oh, but he's still sort of rattled. He's kind of sort of shaking his head, looking around.
He'll
Kind
put
of.
a hand on his shoulder and be like, "Are you all right, lad?"
Yeah, I don't know what happened. That, oh, yes, I'm fine. You healed me.
Yes. Did you see what happened? We just heard the explosion.
Did I see what happened? No. Why would I know what happened? I don't know. I wasn't involved in this. There was a big explosion.
This is mad sus.
Literally all of us,
Super
as Roy
sus.
is talking, just go, what the fuck?
This guy's a mad sus, fam.
You don't even need an insight check. That man is lying
So he's like,
hard.
so this guy is like dazed. He's dazed. And he's like, yeah,
Shell shock.
there was just this big explosion, and we all, and he kind of looks around. He's like,
You are one of the lucky ones, sir.
I am one of the lucky ones.
We are the lucky ones.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for your help. And he sort of stands up and kind of wobbles a bit. And
Why don't you come into our bar here and study yourself for a bit? Maybe you could use a drink after such an ordeal. On the house.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, but no, I gotta get to.
I insist, sir.
where I was going.
I gotta get back to the guy that hired me to cause this explosion.
I gotta
you
get back
mean.
to the fucking gang that hired me to, blow up your tavern.
My healing may have given you some vigor, but we need to make sure you're not gonna fall down halfway down the street.
Well, I suppose I could use a drink then. Fair enough. Yeah, sure. So he sort of takes your arm and you lead him into the tavern, and Leaf brings over a.
Hold person.
He's like, wine, please, if you don't mind.
Climb to a chair.
And he sort of sits heavily in a chair, and the wine floats over, and he's like, he doesn't even notice that the wine is delivered by
spectral.
Yeah. And he sort of grabs it and takes a long pull. He kind of sits there, is like, oh, thank you, friend. I appreciate your healing. Oh. All right, yes.
Zavroski will ask him his name in a bit about what he was doing and if he saw anything.
Yes.
I was placing this. I mean,
he says yes. Well, and he's gathering his senses around. He's like, oh yes. And in fact, he looks like, yeah, oh yeah, I'm Ursel, Jonathan, and I was here in this ward, traveling to a friend's place.
Everything this man says is just a lie.
He's shell shocked. He's just got
I
blown up by a
full
fireball.
Jonathan.
I don't care how shell-shocked he is. Everything that comes out of his mouth sounds suspicious as all hell.
Let's see. Cole, you have a few people around that if you want to go talk to someone who,
I'll just, as I'm approaching the group, did anybody see what happened or what caused that?
let's see. Yes, actually. Where's my... There is... What the heck? Why am I missing my... Sorry.
Elona to interrogate him? She'd be fine with that. All I'm saying. Just an offer.
Yeah,
Take him
let's-
out.
What if
Bad
he's
cop,
not?
bad cop.
What if he's not actually a bad person?
Bad cop, bad cop.
And you just
Bad cop,
mess
bad
up
cop.
Well,
some
well,
guy
we
gets
just-
blasted by a fireball and you start
Think
punching the
Elona
shit out of him.
cares? When has Elona cared about the innocence of others?
Let's see.
Up when you have Elona.
Oh, Elona. Okay. Pause on that, Cole. Elona and Jake. Make me a perception check. Jake, you're gonna be making this at
Disadvantage?
No, that's fine. No, that's fine. Never mind.
Disadvantage on Jake?
Nah, that's fine.
Okay.
Hey.
I am crying. I'm in tears. It would make sense. I'll take it. 12.
All right. Let's see. Okay, 20. Oh, okay. Okay. So both of you noticed that a few of these guys, including actually are wearing the flying snake tattoos that you guys have sort of
Oh.
known to come to associate with the Zentarum.
Oh.
Elona, you noticed that
With the Zentarum.
the dead gnome that is so there's a couple of halflings, there's several humans, and then a gnome. The gnome, you noticed, his boots have this dried brown crud, probably sewer waste, sort of dried on them. you would suspect he's probably been down in the sewers recently. That sort of sticks out to you as you're looking through these bodies trying to find Auntie Ruth. So you guys both noticed tattoos, but Elona, you noticed this gnome in particular. Yeah.
Gnome have a tattoo?
The gnome does not have a tattoo.
Okay. I'm not going to tell Jake because I'm going to let him have his time to mourn Auntie Ruth. I'll save the information I have until we meet back up as a group because I don't need to bog down Jake with information while he's in his feels.
Feeling all the feels right now.
I know, I understand.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Cole, as you are... I knew I had my witness, my witness guy here. As you are looking around, talking to people, there are two people of interest that you see kind of in this direction that are very nearby. One is a 12-year-old boy, not far off, sort of across the street, and one is a well-dressed human that's just a couple doors down, walking down the street, walking from the end of the street, where there is the what's it called? The Tiger's Eye, that shop, that private eye shop, just a couple doors down. You could head in either of those directions as a potential place.
Which one is closer?
The boy's probably closer, I guess, just because he's right across the street.
Okay, I'll go to him first.
Um,
You there, child? Did you see any of this? What that had happened here?
And he's actually sitting here, and he's kind of like looking out from across the street. He's like next to this rain barrel, and he kind of looks out, and his eyes are wide, and he's like, yeah, we were playing tag, and I was chasing everyone, and they ran, and they just blew up. There was a big explosion, and my friends just blew up. I don't know what happened. And then I heard the explosion. I ducked behind the barrel, and I heard this plop in the barrel, and I looked in there, and I found this. And he pulls out this necklace. It's like this golden necklace. The clasp,
of fireballs, isn't it?
This clasp, you notice, is broken, and there are two large gems on this necklace.
Wow. Okay, I will take it from him.
This poor kid.
He sort of hands
Hector
it over.
knows what it is, but Cole does not.
He sort of hands it over to you, and he's like, I don't know what happened. I don't know why my friends are burned.
Where are your parents? Where do you live?
I live in the field ward, but we were playing, and we were. I should go back to them, I guess.
Okay,
But
okay. You should definitely go home, talk to your parents, tell them what happened. Okay.
okay,
Do not be alone. Go with your parents.
okay. Thanks, Mister. Thanks. And he runs off to the north, out of the alley.
And then I'll start walking towards the well-dressed man.
All right. In the meantime, who else is doing anything interesting?
That poor child.
Oh,
Man.
actually, I guess about this time, you guys hear the stomping of boots, and sort of a
Guard.
The watch.
as you guys are very familiar with, make way.
Leave them here.
I wonder how many
Fucking
times.
leave.
How many times in your life, Elona and Jake, have you heard the guard rushing in, yelling, "Make way!"
We can probably tell which guard member is what depending on how they walk at this point.
As soon as they come in, the first thing they see is you guys, like, and they all roll their eyes. Oh,
It
really?
wasn't me. It wasn't us this time. God damn it!
You always say that.
It was okay, but this time I'm not lying. This time it wasn't me.
So they do. In fact, a half dozen patrol of guards kind of runs in, like, and they you hear them call out, and they start blowing the whistles. But call the magistrate! Call the magistrate! And
Dad, the magistrate for this area, Jake.
they
I don't think so.
he is not.
Oh,
No.
phew.
But
Stop
they they do, and you guys recognize. I mean, this is like a big deal. I mean, like, what is this? 8 dead bodies on the ground.
Yeah.
This is a big deal for Waterdeep. You know,
With children,
yeah,
apparently.
an explosion,
Yeah,
perhaps a
God.
magical explosion. This is a So they basically start cordoning off the area, and they over the next little while they set up this perimeter as they make sure nobody leaves. Everybody that's there, they keep and they basically lock down the entire alley. Zav, what are you doing inside Trolls? I'm sorry, the
Spirits of the Hydra.
Spirits of the Hydra. That's what I was exactly about to say.
That's
He's
exactly
having-
where you were.
He's having a friendly but inquisitive conversation with the man.
All right. I imagine you'll have a few minutes to do that while this is all happening outside.
All right. Oh, he asked if he was traveling with any of the people that were killed.
No, I don't know anybody that was killed in there. I was here. You get any more of that wine? I could definitely use a little more wine. Actually, this is
Well, for sure.
helping a lot.
Another glass leaf.
And he sort of, as a glass, and this time he sort of does a double take as he
Don't worry, it's our gimmick at the bar. Everyone loves it. The spirits of the Hydra. The spirits serve you.
The spirits.
Well, that's kind of cool. I'm
Trouble.
not gonna lie, they're kind of cool. So, yes, no, I was, and he's clearly sort of recovered from his sort of shell shock, whatever he was. He was like, yes, no, I was traveling alone. I was coming down in this alley to buy a book at the bookshop there.
Yes, I know the shopkeeper quite well.
But I think that now I think I'll skip that book now. And, well, maybe it's, and he's sort of like looking out the window and he kind of seeing, he's like, yes, well, the watch is here. They'll probably have a lot of questions for people.
Yeah, you should probably talk with them. I can.
Oh, I don't know that I and the City Watch get along very well, to be honest with you. If you know what I'm saying,
I mean,
friend.
I have some friends that don't get along with the City Watch, and they're already out there, and they're stuck talking to them. You should probably talk to them.
Well, that's their bad luck. But I don't know that I necessarily need to talk with the City Watch. In fact, if you had a back door out of here, I could definitely make it worth your while. And he pulls out this
guy
pouch.
is so sketchy.
He pulls out this pouch and starts counting out dragons. He pulls out 10 dragons, and he's like, just the back door out of here, so I don't have to really deal with the town watch, because you never know how things are gonna go with the town watch. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's good.
I mean, you
sometimes-
were a victim here, sir. Don't you want to
Oh.
get vengeance on whoever blew you up? Tell the guard everything, and they'll hopefully do something.
You see his well, actually, roll me perception.
I hate him. Is his name Bob? Because I fucking hate him.
Yeah, you see his brows darken sort of just very briefly, and then he kind of he says, "Oh, I definitely would like to have revenge on whoever did this, but
Well,
That-
maybe you could tell me before you leave what you know, and if you tell me, then I can relay the important information onto the guard if I think it's, and leave your name out of it.
well, see, the thing is, I just don't really know much. I happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, I suppose, truth be told. But in the past, as I said, I'm not exactly on good terms with the watch. So I'm gonna have to get out of here, friend. So let's see. I tell you what, and he sort of stands up, and you realize as he stands up that he's not a commoner. He sort of stands up and braces himself a bit. He's like, I need to get out of here, friend. Take these dragons. I'll take the back door, and we'll forget this happened.
I mean, I would love to take these dragons, but there's an unfortunate design flaw of our tavern that there is no back door.
What? What kind of tavern is this?
The kind without a back door.
He looks around. He's like, tell you what, I'll head upstairs. There's surely a window. I'll find my way. Don't you worry.
Jump through a window?
There's a back. Isn't there a back
But
door to this place? What the hell?
I don't
If
think there
you,
is.
if you
Like, there's-
haven't noticed, the stairs are on the outside.
Well, no, because we we changed.
Oh, we retconned that. Okay.
Yeah, well, no, because I let you guys use the stairs internally. I can't now
Right.
make.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
so.
Nah, use that design.
Hey, it was worth a try. It was
You're not
worth
wrong.
a try.
You're not wrong. Just that, for the sake of consistency, I'm gonna have to say there are stairs. He's
All the doors are locked.
No, we lock our doors because we don't trust people in this
Um,
establishment. So all of the windows are like college windows where they only open 3 inches to prevent people from jumping out them.
And skipping out on their tabs.
Canon now.
I don't feel comfortable with someone going in through our windows upstairs. I'm sorry.
and he
And Zavroski's clearly has his hand on the pommel of his rapier at this point.
Ooh, Zev.
Get him, Zav. Get him. He killed Auntie Ruth. Never forget.
You are quite injured right now, sir, and I have slain quite a few foes in the past month that seem stronger than you are right now.
Oh shit.
Intimidation, motherfucker.
Get him, Zev.
all right, Zav. I'm gonna give you an intimidation check. So he like I said, this guy is not a commoner. He is a person, and he takes another glance out the window, and he says, "Friend, I want you to take those dragons, and I want you to keep them, and remember that this day I decided not to end you. Now look, I appreciate your healing.
Zavroski is gonna use suggestion on him.
All right, that's gonna be initiative.
Down.
Spells.
And
Magic.
Shit, I hate this guy so much. I hate him.
Why do you hate him? He's like,
because you were.
Sketchy.
Damn.
oh, I
He
still
might
want to show
change
this
his mind
picture.
if this guy's up in his grill.
I still
man
want to show this picture, but I can't yet. Oh man, this is so cool. All right, I mean, sorry.
I just want to just everyone to note Zav is in combat alone.
But it's one-on-one combat.
And he's injured. Zav did.
And he's injured, and Zav has shown himself to be
Quite
able to
the
handle
swordsman.
himself
And
in
Tasha's
battle.
hideous laughter.
Yeah. If suggestion fails at first, you make them laugh until they burst.
What? That's a new shirt. That's a new shirt. That's a new shirt. Suggestion fails at first. Say hi to all the people we have watching. We have a decent amount of people watching right now.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Oh.
Oh, but he is wounded. How is?
I gave him 6 HP
You gave him 6.
from the earlier healing.
All right. So he is at.
Icky.
Oh, what's Icky doing? I gotta see what Icky's doing. Hold on.
He just came in and just went, "Whoa, there are people who don't have inspiration." So I assume inspiration is coming our way pretty
Oh
soon.
man, she's so kind to you guys. She's so nice to you guys. I should put a temporary ban on inspiration.
Why would you do that?
All right, so
Not like money?
because I'm a mean. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so yeah, so let's do some initiative. I will. What did he say? His Well, you may not remember.
I'd
Let's
say his
just-
dex modifier is at least a -3. He's real injured.
Well, he's better now. He was stunned for a minute, but he's better now.
He's still sketchy.
Still sketchy, but he's better now. All right, he goes first. All right, Zav. Wait, why isn't he wounded? Hold on. There we go. Okay.
You hadn't wounded him yet.
He's but
I
a
guess I
flesh
can just
wound.
show because he said his first name. Yeah, let me change it to. What did he
Not
say was
Bob's, right?
Johnson? Oh yeah, Bob. Oh, that's better.
No, please don't make him Bob.
It's
God damn it.
Jonathan.
I'm sorry, guys.
Bob number 7.
Erstful Bobson help?
Could have made him Lester. You had the chance to make him Lester, and you didn't take it.
Ooh, Lester would be good. All right. How does all this work? Good lord.
Asks, how does all this work? That's concerning on many levels. I'm outside looking at
That's a
someone
dead
stained-
Zav. How's this work? By murdering Zavroski.
and none of us have. We do have healing potions. Who
Yeah.
carries our party? Like,
All right, so you start casting at this guy, Zav, and he... Oh, shit. That hasn't taken a creature turn. Okay. Just as you start to cast, he reacts instantly, and he crouches low. He pulls out his short sword, and he attacks you with the short sword.
come on, Zev.
Gonna hit me. Gonna kill
Come
me.
on, Zev.
Wow! All right.
Hey.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay, he actually has advantage on that roll, so I have to do it again
Hmm.
because
He
you
has
haven't taken a
advantage.
taken a turn yet, and he misses. Wow! All right.
Good luck.
Meant to
Zav.
be.
Second attack at advantage still.
Gonna die now.
No, you're fine. All right, that's a hit. Okay, then that's an advantage, so that means you take normal damage.
Plus sneak attack. Gonna die.
Shit, Zavroski, this is really bad.
Ow.
I know.
Minimum damage.
Because I have an idea what character this is that's fighting. And it's not good for
That's not good for you. If you.
Well, you
No.
have your friends.
All right.
Your friends who are right outside.
And you're gonna take some sneak attack damage. Wait, no, that's not.
37d6.
That's not what I meant to do.
4d6.
Where's the damage? Give me the damage. That's an effect.
Usually put the effect on him and then you roll the damage and it rolls all the dice.
Oh,
for
that's
you.
what I should have done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can just roll 4d6 and I'll
Alright.
add the damage to me.
4d6.
On Zev.
Oh, well, look at the
At least
cheese. Are you
at least
kidding
you're
me?
rolling terribly.
Wow.
Yes.
So I rolled a lot of
Hey,
ones.
Right. Icky gave me advantage.
I've run. Oh, all right. Thank you, Icky. Thank you. Favorite monk. Oh man. Thank you, Icky. Hang on. Let me get Elona set up with some advantage.
Punch,
Elona.
punch.
Elona. All right. And Zav, I need you to make a Constitution save.
What? He's got poison on this shit too?
Dude, this is
Zev. Okay.
16. You made it. Holy
Good. I'm not dead.
Wow.
Yet.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna reveal a bit of this because I want you guys to understand what. Well, actually, Zavroski, go ahead and take your turn. Let's go ahead, and then I'll tell you. This is.
Well, we'll see if this works. Hopefully he rolls. Or do you want to roll his save?
Let me see. So he did
It's wisdom save DC 15 for suggestion.
DC 15. All right, come on, Erstl
Roll
Bob's
terribly
son.
again.
Here we go.
Keep
Wisdom
rolling
save.
Roll like garbage. Yes.
terrible.
Yes.
You kidding me?
Yes.
This is the best.
This
he
is-
He says, "Sit
He is
down and have more wine, sir. I suggest you stay here before you get yourself killed."
Did anyone else sense the like pissed off tone
Now-
in Zav's voice? I've
so-
never heard him that angry.
Well, now one thing you know is, well, I guess stay here is still a command. All right. What's the duration of suggestion?
8 hours.
Is this a thing where he gets more saves or something? Let me see. Let me.
No,
What?
No,
Wait.
I'll
just-
link it though.
He's just there.
I got it.
He's stuck in it.
That sucks, dude. Sucks real bad for you.
Pursues the course of action you describe to the best of its ability. The course can continue for the entire duration.
Beautiful. He'll be there for 8 hours.
He's
Are
just
you
gonna be
kidding
drinking
me?
wine for a long time,
Oh my!
Make sure you make him pay for this wine now.
and he's gonna be like, "And this gold will cover the drinks
Oh, there you go,
And he's
Zav.
gonna scoop up the 10 gold into his pocket.
Zav is a one-man army.
Yeah,
So
I
is
know we
that-
don't even need to play. Just
So
let
it-
Zav play. God.
All right, so let me ask about this. So suggestion generally says, hey, we want you to take a course of action, and it suggests examples where like you do a thing and then you get that thing done. Does like stay at this spot where you do that for the entire duration? Is that within the spirit of the spell?
Zavroski's gonna call the guards in right away. So
Yeah.
he's gonna sit down, have more wine, and the guards are gonna be in there in like
20
right away.
seconds.
All right, I'll buy
The
that. I'll buy that.
magistrate might also be there at that point.
That's unreal. Wow. So this guy gets.
Is this?
I
is
can't
this
even tell
an
you.
assassin?
Can't even tell you.
Is
This
this
is
an
an
assassin?
assassin. This is an
Yeah.
assassin.
He's an
Yes.
assassin, yeah.
He's an assassin with 2 attacks, both at advantage, both getting sneak attack damage, and both getting preposterous poison damage. And Zavroski took a total of 21 points of damage from a possible of like 100 or something. This guy can dish out.
I took 10.
Yeah, he took 10.
Oh, 10. I'm sorry. Yes, 10.
Yeah.
This guy could dish out like 100 damage around on surprise. It's like unbelievable. Holy smokes.
Well, sucks that he's just, bad.
Gonna get arrested now.
I rolled a lot of ones. All right.
Zavroski's got a new enemy. He's gonna get assassinated in one shot one day.
So yeah, so he does. He sheathes his sword and he's like, you know what? I don't know. I tell you what, that's good. This is actually really good wine. Let me finish this glass of wine. This is a good bit of wine.
Zavroski's gonna use his minor illusion to shout out for guards. There's an attacker in the tavern from the scene.
All right, and they're doing that. What? And so like one of the guards and a friend of his follows it. So 2 of the guards kind of come running in, and they look out and they've got their
And
their swords
he's
up.
got a
Where?
Zav's
Where?
got still
Where?
a bit of he's pointing at the man in the chair. This man stabbed me, but I used my magics to calm him down. And he's showing his stab wound and the blood and points at the blood on his sword.
And the guy well, stab wound. Well,
He's also using illegal poison.
so the guy is like, what? Wait, no. I'm the victim here. Like you said, we were just in here talking. You brought me in, and you
said
healed
that
me.
you're not friendly with the guards and needed a back way out. And then when I said no, you went to stab me and you nicked the side, and I almost was killed by you.
He smiles. He's like, that's absurd. Do you have any witnesses? The guard's like, that's enough out of both of you. Out into the street. You will join the other witnesses, and you will be asked questions accordingly. Now. And he stands up and he finishes his dutifully. He's like, but I just want to sit here and finish this cup of wine. Is that really so much to ask?
Zavroski's not stopping the spell to make him less
geez.
obedient to the guards.
How does this work? Oh no.
Piss off the guards.
But
Okay,
I'm
probably what
almost done. Hold
happens.
on.
Probably what happens is that he's like he does so. He's like, no, I'm just gonna sit here and finish this wine. Actually, this is good wine, and I'm gonna finish it. And the guards like, that's enough. They grab him by the scruff of the shirt, they pull him out, and they drag him out. And they look at you 2 out into the street.
No, Zavroski's already walking out the door as they grab him.
All right.
He's very on the up and up with the guards. He's not being a pain.
Yeah, that makes one of us in this group.
Hey, Jake's doing pretty well these days.
Yay!
He's made some friends.
No, he hasn't. God damn it. No friends.
Best friends.
Shut the fuck
The
up.
bestest ever.
I hate you all. You're all the worst.
All right. So more guards end up on scene, and a couple of people. If I find by. Oh, come on. You know they're in there. This one bad part of this digital stuff is. There we go. And
I feel like you can find
Those guys.
us. We don't need us. Bees, I saw what you put in chat. Delete it.
What? Wait, what are you what are you doing?
Bees is being mean to me. I
What?
am attacked.
Bees?
Bees is attacking me in chat. Bees, just keep in mind I am your game master this weekend. Just how quickly do you want to not be able to play in the game? Just wondering.
What, were you thinking you might want to die right at the beginning? I will kill you.
You're all gonna die. It doesn't matter.
But you want to at least play for a little while. You don't want to like die at the beginning.
All right, let me delete
You
it.
better stop sassing. Bees! I'm going to the bathroom. I need to go to the bathroom anyway. Bees is being mean to me.
Oh, it's 9. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break because we're doing hour breaks now, right? Yeah. So yeah,
so
no
you can
problem.
do
Yeah. So
podcasts.
let's see. So this is a great scene transition. So the fireball goes off. You guys run out. You see all this. There's the encounter inside the tavern, and now the watch is coming. And let me do this. And these two special. Oh, son of a gun. These two special
Oh,
people come on scene.
I don't like either of them.
You don't like anybody. Like who do you?
It shouldn't be surprising. I don't like anyone.
Whoops. These two people come on scene, and the guy with the glasses looks up. Oh, well, this is not good. This is not good at all. We're gonna take a quick break, and we will be back in just a few minutes. We will talk to you
First, guys.
then. are back.
Back
Baby.
from outer space.
Why is this? Uh-oh.
What did you do, Roy?
Oh, I messed it all up.
God damn it, Roy.
No wonder it's all... That's why. You know what? I'm the worst.
Bees! You know there's a limit to emotes.
Uh-oh.
He's trying to find it.
Jesus
He's
Christ.
testing the waters to find out where it is.
Bees.
I
OBS.
think that was one too many.
OBS, what are you doing, OBS? Why would you do that to me?
5. Man, looks like your limit's 4 then, Bees.
Oh, no.
That looks like a lot more than 5, I'm just going to say.
Yeah, you know, I'm really bad at math, but that does seem to be more than 5.
I may not be a smart man, but I can count to 5.
I have a degree in social work, but like this is more than 5. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. 24.
All right.
Jesus Christ, Bees.
All right. To my players. I'm gonna restart Fantasy Grounds real fast.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No worries.
Panini press, Roy. The panini press.
I gotta do it, man. I gotta do it.
Well, hope I don't need to roll anything for the next hour and a half.
Many apologies. This really stinks. Truly stinks.
What
OBS, I'm really mad at you right now.
What it is?
Oh, OBS lost.
OBS picked up the wrong version of Fantasy Grounds. So I'll give you guys some background information while we're doing this. So I run a couple different instances of Fantasy Grounds. This is sort of revealing the curtain behind and how we do such a cool stream. Because I want the stream to be watchable by the players. So what I do in order to do that is I run multiple instances of Fantasy Grounds. So I run the DM version and then I run a client version. And what I stream is the client version of Fantasy Grounds. That way, the audience will see what you guys see as players in the game. Did I just do this backwards?
Cole got inspiration from Icky.
I told you to do this backwards.
Inspiration.
No, because Cole can't be naked up there with no inspiration. Please give my feathered warlock friend one, please.
Thank you, Vicky.
Nice.
Vicky is...
Vicky's the best. We don't deserve.
She's pretty amazing.
So I'm Icky's favorite monk, and you're her feathered warlock friend. And then I'm pretty sure Jake is just the fellow rogue.
Fellow rogue hype.
I'm curious to see if Jake will multi-class into what.
I thought he was dipping
Story
already.
will tell.
I thought Jake was already dipping into...
He hasn't dipped
Caster?
into anything.
No,
yet.
Jake was originally going to dip into fighter, but then the story pulled him a different way, and now he's dipped into arcane tricksters as
Yeah, then
subclass.
the boner acted as like a whatever.
Yeah, like a guiding pole.
The
Led him
tuning
into
rod.
the magic. Yeah, led him into the magic realm. The boner.
All right, Fantasy Grounds is back up. You guys may join once again.
Yeah, it's not letting me. So we'll just keep playing, and then I'll pray.
My computer's working
We'll
hard
get
right
there,
now.
we'll get there.
It's true. So so you guys are currently 4th level, right? And then so no one's dipped at all. You guys are still just your single class, first single class.
Single class.
Staying it for the next level too.
Yeah.
Usually pretty good yet. Level 5 in one class
Yeah.
before you dip.
There we go.
I usually
Really?
dip at level 5 is my dipping class or my dipping level, but I don't know what's going to happen this time around.
I don't either, man. That's the beauty of it. I just have no idea.
You know
Yeah,
what
that's
I'm
a-
gonna do because I asked permission.
Oh, I do, but I am the only one.
I mean, I think she's told us as well.
Uh-oh, you did?
No, plans have changed.
Oh.
Plans have... Story, man. Stories change.
I love it. So that's what's cool about this group. And then, as a
I'm gonna multi-class in a bard. Yep, you're right, Bees.
all right, one more
Elona the
second.
bard.
We're gonna get back into the game. I promise. But this is one of those super cool parts of D&D is that when you get the right group of players, in the right game, that's what the game is, right? Like no one knows where the heck the game is going. I mean, I've got a sort of story ish. I've got a lot of scenes, a lot of stuff set up, but no idea where things are going. And so even these players are so amazing because you guys are creating your characters as the story progresses, right? So we're all sort of like crafting the story together and making it. And in my opinion, this is the best D&D. Like this is what D&D is supposed to be about, right? Like you can, and I'm not saying there's other ways to play, sure, right? There's min-maxing characters, that's fantastic. There's dungeon things, there's all that stuff is fantastic. But I love a good story. I really genuinely love a good story, and that's one thing I love about this group, Nerd League Gaming, is that the story is solid, and the players like write as much of the story as I do. In fact, pretty often when I'm writing notes, I'm like, okay, let Anna do this, and she will just do this, or
Let
one of you
Anna
guys.
be a cartoon.
So speaking of story, we are currently, this scene opens in this segment. This scene opens outside in Trollskull Alley, outside the doors of the spirits of the Hydra.
Hey, you got it.
Hey, got it. All right, excellent. As you guys, there are at least probably two dozen City Watch members around, and this pair of guys sort of comes up, and the shorter one kind of comes up, and he starts sort of talking to everyone, and he introduces himself as somebody says, "Yes, hello. Well, this is not good. This is not good at all. Yes, no, this. Yes." And he kind of looks around at all the people in the catalogs, and he goes up to you guys who are sort of standing conspicuously in front of the tavern. He's like, "Good day. Do any of you have any information on this? What happened here?"
Yeah, there was a big feckin' fireball. That's what happened here.
Indeed, a fireball, you say, and you saw this fireball.
We heard it. It blew up, opened our door, and we saw the remnants of the flames.
And it fucked up the front of a bar.
Fireball. Interesting. Very interesting.
Cole will walk up and be like, "Yes, a child that witnessed the explosion. His friends are actually some of the victims of this. I sent him home, but he saw the explosion happen. He hid behind this barrel, and a few moments later, someone ran by and dropped this in the barrel. And I'll pull up the necklace.
Don't give it to him. We want to
And
keep it.
he's like, oh, he sort of looks at it and his eyes go wide. He's like, and he takes it from you. He's like, oh, friend, and who might you be? And his friend behind him is furiously scribbling notes, taking notes of everything.
One of the owners of the Spirits of the Hydra.
Ah, this fine establishment. Indeed. And you were also inside during this altercation?
Yes, I was inside when the explosion came out. When we heard it, we ran outside to see if we could help.
But the child, you say he went home. Where is his home?
Yes, I felt it better to send him home for him not to be around his dead friends.
His friends. Oh, that is tragic. That is very tragic indeed. But, well, I suppose we won't find him. But this is an incredible piece of evidence. Why? And he kind of looks around at all this. He's like, oh, yes, this is a bit of evidence. And he puts it into a coat pocket. Says, you have done the town a great service this day, Mr.
Voidfang. Cole Voidfang.
Cole Voidfang. Yes, you got that, Cole Voidfang? Yes, and you're one of the owners here. Excellent. Yes. Mr. Voidfang, you've done a great service to the city this day, and I certainly appreciate your help in this matter.
A friend of mine actually had one of the survivors. He was helping him inside our bar.
Yes.
You might want to speak with him.
Sir, if you don't mind, I actually found that man over there. He'll point at... Or still the assassin.
I just want to finish my wine. Come on. Just want to finish my wine.
He was on the edge of the explosion, and I used some of my own magics to heal him a bit, and I brought him inside to shake it off, have a drink. And when he heard the watch coming, he said that he was no friend of the watch and wanted to leave. He tried to pay me money to slip out the back door. I said no, and then he went to stab me. As you can see, a little bit of a nick here from his blade. And then I was able to use a stronger magic to suggest that he stay, and then I called the guards in.
And he he's like, and he motions at the guards, bring him here. So he comes over and sir, is what this man says true? And the guy, he says, well, it's partly true. You say I was on the edge of the blast. I was caught, and I was dazed and wounded on the ground. And this person here, he did indeed heal me. But then, rather than let me go on my way, he dragged me inside of his tavern. And once we were in there,
Look at how strong I am, sir. I have no muscles. I cannot drag anybody.
Please allow him to tell his side of the story, please.
Very well, sir. Sorry.
Once he dragged me into the tavern, dazed as I was from the fireball. Then he shook me down. He demanded payment. He took 10 dragons from me, which I believe he still has. Do you not, sir? He took my dragons as payment for the healing that I never even asked for. Yes, he did heal me, but he did drag me in.
Yes, all right.
Please allow him to finish. He took me inside his place, and once outside the sight of the guards, shook me down and took these dragons from me as payment for his healing. This place, I would never come back to this place in 1,000 years.
Good, we don't feckin' want you.
And so Barnabas like, yes, I see. Sir, he looks at Zavroski. Sir, you seemed to have some response to this.
So I healed him up. I brought him inside to give him a drink to shake off a terrible day, waking up or being knocked off your feet by some kind of explosion. He was served some wine as he asked for it in particular. That's the drink he said he liked. And we got to talking. I asked him his name. He said Erstal Bobson. And then once he heard the guards, like I said, he said he would like to go out the back door and put down the 10 dragons on the table and said I should take them and not tell the guard of his presence. And then I said I would not do that. And I tried to make sure he stayed, and he would not, and he drew his blade and attacked me.
I defended
and then I was able... I did not even attack you back, sir.
No, but as you said, you used magics against me. And I tried to defend myself against these magics, but apparently I was not successful, as he still has my dragons. Do you, sir, deny that you have my dragons?
I have dragons in recompense for stabbing me and drinking my wine. But I can give them back if that is not a fair trade.
Barnabas is like, look. We are in the middle of nearly a dozen dead Waterdavians, and you guys are bickering over wine and dragons. You, sir.
Sorry, sir. He stabbed me. You can see the wound.
Yes, but you used magic. Look. We will submit this.
I was trying to do the guards a favor by keeping the man here. I am sorry if things are not going that way.
And he addresses the guy. And the guy, this is like this big dude, right? He's like this 40s guy. He's sort of this kind of big dude. He's like, you, sir, your name is Erstal Bobson, you said? And he's, yes, that's my name. Well, you're not familiar to me. And he looks around, talks to some of the guards. So any of you guards know this man? And he kind of looks up there, gives a big smile. I was like,
And I do say my name should be good with the guards. And me and my friends have helped Captain Steget out in the dock ward catching a killer not too long ago, and we're great friends with him. Like, we are upstanding citizens. We've worked with the Grey Hands before.
Captain Staggert, you say?
Yes.
He's a solid person. And your name is...
The Great Zavroski, sir. I am a bard, a performer.
Performer, you say? So you're used to performing in front of people and making them...
Oops.
I see. Excellent. All right. Very well then, Mr. Zavroski. We shall... and he looks over at his friend who's nodding. Yes, got it. I guess yes.
Please, if there's any way for me to make you believe my words or anything, I will do anything for you.
No. You don't have to do anything to make me believe any words. You are one of the owners of this place as well. I assume we could find you here if we need to follow up with you. And you said you did not witness the actual event here.
No, but we even had another companion with us. Lord Renair was speaking with us while we were in the tavern.
Yeah, in fact, he's right. He's like, and Renair is sort of like sitting there, and he's like, huh? Oh, yeah. Hey, he's like, hey.
Perhaps he could even speak to our character.
He
We have
looks
saved him
over and he's
before.
like, oh, hey, Bartimus. Hey, Saith, how's it going? And Bartimus like, he
Heist?
looks over his glasses, like, Lord Renair. You are friends with these tavern owners? And Renair looks at you guys, he's like, oh yeah, no, these are great guys. These are great guys. I vouch for them 100%. If they tell you something, you can count on it. You have the word of Renair Never Ember on that. And Barnes, whoa, and you see the guy kind of like scratching up. Right. And he's like, yes, well then. Well, if you all have no other information, you are certainly free to go your way. I certainly appreciate your help. Lord Renair, you have some information to give? And Renair says, no, sadly, I was with my friends here inside the tavern. We were not privy to the actual event. And they says, yes, well, very well then, very well. I do appreciate your help. Please feel free to go about your day. If we need to ask you any further questions, we will inquire for you here.
I have some information in case you want it.
Oh, yes. Absolutely, yes, please. And you are who?
Elona.
Elona, yes.
So, all the people, well, most of the people who are, like charred to death on the ground, all have tattoos of like a flying snake on it or something, except for one guy who just has shit on his boots. So my guess is he was in the sewer, because last time we were in the sewer, I got shit on my boots. But, yeah.
Kind of looks at you and he's, what? And he kind of goes around and he pokes somebody. He's like,
Just saying, might be a coincidence, might not be, but all of them have snake tattoos except for like that one guy right there.
You might want to check of my stabby friend if he has a tattoo.
Oh yeah, does what's his face have a tattoo?
You'll also notice that, like, as you're looking at these bodies, Jake is still cradling Auntie Ruth. And he's like, if only I had more power, I could have done something. I could have saved her. I need to get more powerful.
Yeah. So
Don't do that to me.
they.
Oh no! I'm foreshadowing. Foreshadowing.
So he is like, yes, sir, Mr. Bobson. Do you have any tattoos upon your body? Bobson's
Rip
like,
off his shirt.
nope,
Rip off his shirt.
no tattoos here.
Rip off his shirt.
He sort of pulls out his shirt. Is this what you're looking for? And he's solidly built kind of guy. Actually, he's.
I mean, he almost killed Zav. He's already, high up there
Yeah.
on the
He's like, that's what I thought. And so he's like, sir, again, my friends, I appreciate your help, citizens, and thank you. If we need more help, we'll certainly be in touch. Until then, go about your day. This will be fine here. And he goes over to Jake and he's like, my friend, this is someone you knew.
It was my Auntie Ruth. I can't believe she was just visiting us and she walked outside and that's when the fireball went off. If only I was more powerful, I could have done something. I could have saved her.
That is tragic indeed.
This is Ruth Melshimber of the Melshimbers. I am Jake Dean Melshimber. Something must be done. These people must be found. I will get my vengeance.
Melshimber, are you related to Magistrate Melshimber?
The very same.
Oh.
My father will hear of this and we will get our vengeance for the loss of my aunt.
Well, now this is serious. For the Melshimbers to be killed. Do you think that she was perhaps targeted? Do you think that she was... they were looking for her?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. This is crazy. Jake's obviously distraught. Just like completely like he's...
Yes,
and he's angry too.
Don't worry, lad. I appreciate your anger, and it is a tragic loss indeed. But the City Watch will get to the bottom of this. Don't you worry. We'll find out what happened here in due time.
I'll get to the bottom of this. You'll see. And with that, there's nothing he can do. He's gonna kind of like he storms off at this point. He's headed towards Melshimber Mansion.
All right.
Elona's gonna go with him.
All right, they let you go. They the guards like eventually and Bartleby Barnabas. Barnabas sort of looks at him and he says, "Let them go." And so they do. They make their way, and you guys storm off.
Elona's actually gonna grab Auntie Ruth because she's the only one who can probably carry it, and she'll follow Jake towards the Melshimber residence.
Wait! No! As you go to that, he's like, "Wait, Miss, I understand your concern.
Not the time.
I understand your concern, but we must ascertain what happened here. Once we have done our investigation, it will not take long. I promise you. You may have her body and give it the proper respect it needs. But I must leave everything where it is now for me to do my initial investigation to figure out what happened here. You can understand this, can't you?"
Elona will look at Auntie Ruth. There will be a single tear. She will gently put the body down and run after Jake because it's not the right time to be fighting guards right now.
It's not the time.
Yes.
Look, that's character development, everyone.
Let me know.
Baby steps. It only took a family death.
It only took the death of her favorite NPC.
And so over the next hour or so, Barnabas.
Oh, Jake got inspiration for crying.
Oh,
Yay, crying.
Oh, yeah, crying. Wait, hang on. I missed another inspiration earlier. Who got inspiration earlier?
No, I think you got it.
Cole. No, it's
Cole.
not. It's not
Right,
up there.
Cole.
Cole got it.
Cole and Jake have inspiration.
Got you. Thank you so much. Definitely appreciate
Thanks
that.
again, Vicky.
They need it, believe me.
What do we
Roy
need?
killing off Auntie Ruth really sent Jake down a dark path. I'm just gonna put that out there right now.
Why do I get
Roy,
blamed for
what
this?
the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm just.
Hey,
I don't.
you have no excuses. You made it happen.
You literally made this happen. She could have been fine. We could have just not found her charred body and she would have been, off, fucking Renair. But no, here we are with her charred body.
If it helps, I thought about it. I considered that, but sorry. So,
Let's go to Melshimber's residence.
Exactly.
Oh, this will be fun. Jake's upset. And we're gonna go visit Jake's dad with Elona. It's gonna be a great time.
all right. So let's see.
Ten
Over
out
the
of
next
10 great time.
hour or so, the guys that are there, Barnabas, he sort of interviews everybody that's there, and you guys all kind of hang out, and you guys are hanging out. Do you guys that are staying there, Cole and Zav, do you guys have anything y'all want to do?
I'm following Barnabas and his buddy the entire time.
Okay, so you're just kind of shadowing them, seeing what they do.
Cole's getting information.
Zav, anything you want to do?
Zav's
There's a lot of- there's
going
all-
back
remember-
into the bar to ask Leaf if there's any way he can talk to the inspectors about what happened in the bar. He knows
yeah.
because he's the only witness.
Well, yeah. So remember, at this point, the alley's on lockdown. So basically, everyone that was in the alley is sort of locked in the alley. The only people that have been allowed to leave are Elona and Jake.
Oh, okay.
And they've been allowed to leave. So everyone is still there.
Could Leaf write on a chalkboard hypothetically? I'm just wondering.
Could be. You as you sort of ask that, and a glass of your favorite drink gets poured and slid over to you.
I mean, yes, I would like this, but
Yeah. The glass seems to sort of shrug, and then land itself on the bar.
not even if we bring that Agatha back to speak for you. I suppose they might not believe that anyways. I'll take the shot back. All one gulp. However big all the glass was. He's just
Oh, nice. All right. Yeah. Yeah, you feel this sort of pressure, this sort of almost like a pat on the back, as if to say,
there.
Sorry, buddy. No face means no voice.
yeah. All right. So after that, so anything else you guys want to do? Anybody you want to talk to or anything? Before I
Well,
cut
Jake
to
was
the
headed
other-
to see.
Yeah. I'm gonna
You're
cut to
talking
you
about the
guys.
scene of the crime.
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
talking. I'm kind of trying to wrap scene, or not wrap, but like look at scene of the crime for now.
Just trying to overhear as much as I can. That's it. Yeah. And I'm not even trying to hide it either. I'm like within 10 feet of them.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So, let's see. Okay. So there are a couple of things you'll overhear then as they go, and they notice you but don't seem to mind you. Apparently, being called the friend of a lord is some big deal or something. Whatever.
What?
And if I see that they're more comfortable, I'll approach them. I'll be like, "Excuse me, gentlemen. I know that we already spoke, but if you need any other help with your investigation, or if you need the help of some adventurers to help you take care of some problems, our group is always available."
You telling this to Barnabas?
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, oh, well, that's fantastic. You know, the city is in great need of adventurers who can solve problems and fix things. But this is the area of the city watch, and you know, the more variables, the more moving parts we get into things, the more complicated the investigation becomes. Don't you worry, friend. We'll solve this. We're Waterdeep. We are the detectives of Waterdeep, and we will absolutely find out what happened with this. Don't you fret, friend. But I appreciate your offer, certainly.
I hope you don't mind that I observe your process.
Well, I suppose not much.
And he will continue to stay back and just let them work and listen.
All right, so they interview people. Most of the people don't really know what was going on. Let's see. Let's see, you gave him the necklace. So there is, in fact, you remember. Fine. The guy that you saw coming out of the Tiger's Eye earlier, when you were kind of trying to figure out where to go, they interview him, and he introduces himself. He gives his name as Jezrin Hornraven. And they talk, and the gist of what he tells them is he says, as you're kind of listening over, you'll hear him, and he says, part of it, he says, I tell you, it wasn't a man. It was more like a puppet shaped like a man, a puppet without strings. It was on the rooftop, and I saw it pick up something, and something glinted. It was like it threw some stone in the street, and then the whole street exploded in fire. And I ran back inside because I didn't want to get caught in any of that. But I saw those halflings burned alive. I saw them just burned to death. One other interesting bit is over here is from Fala Lefalier, right? She's the
potions lady.
That's right, the potions lady who lives in the upper place. She's down there to talk to him, and she's talking to them, and she says, I was watering plants in the greenhouse on the second floor of my shop when the blast blew out some of the windows. Lucky I wasn't injured. I glanced through, and through the smoke, I saw a small, thin creature go over to one of the bodies. It seemed to search one very briefly, pocket something, and then quickly ran off out of the alley towards the east. The other...
quietly taking in everything.
Okay. Yeah, the rest of the people there don't have a lot to say. You know, mostly people who sort of scattered. They saw the explosion or felt the explosion. There was a lot of singed eyebrows. People that were, near the blast but not caught in it. And after... Well, this goes on for some time. So we're going to cut that and move over to the Melshimber estate.
Oh, let's go find good old Sammy.
Where the guards are... This is like, remember, this is early morning. Or relatively early morning.
What if my dad's there?
And the guards sit there as you guys approach the house, and you guys come up and they're like, Jake. Actually, these guards, yeah, they stand there. It's like, yes, can I help you?
You know who I am, and I need to see my father right now.
And one of the guard next to me goes, sorry, my lord. He's new here. This is Lord Melshimber's son, Jake. Yes. Oh, yes. And
enough with this talking and stop wasting my time. I need to see my father now.
Oh, yes. Well, of course, Master Melshimber. Please come in.
If they've got any kind of perception or they're looking at Jake, they may notice just almost like is a shimmer across his eyes of like a dark purple, almost black kind of shimmer. There's a power building in him right now.
I like this.
Elona does, of course.
I'm scared. Yeah, Elona will notice it and just do like a double take, but it's not the time to ask him. She'll ask him later.
All right. He's like, yes, come in, my lord. How can we help you this day? I will summon the butler, and you just sort of push past him. And like,
I know where my father is.
Yes, my lord. Good day to you, my lord. And you storm through the estate to where?
Towards the where my father would be in the morning having breakfast or whatever.
Yeah, it's about that time. Sure.
He'd be headed towards there. That's
All right,
the first place he expects his father to be
So
having
you'll-
breakfast.
Yeah,
As
you'll get in
Jake's,
there.
Like, pushing through the halls. Alona's gonna like.
This is an intensity that nobody's ever
she's
seen in Jake
never
before.
seen in this
Jake's a
situation.
pretty lighthearted guy usually.
She doesn't know what she's doing in this situation, so she's gonna stay like 15 feet back from
Whoa.
her best friend and just watch. She'll join him in the room, like with his dad and stuff, but she is so confused.
Yeah, so there's a few instances of the different servants and stuff that are around, and they look at you and they're like, "Goodbye," and they as they sort of say good morning to you, and they see you and they see the look in your face, and they sort of quiet, and then they see Elona and the look on her face as she's trailing you, and they actually take a step away from you, like just completely step out. So there's a few people like, well, right this way, my lord. And
Where's my father? He'll ask, the first person that, he gets a good look at, he'll ask, because he wants to find him. He's not wasting any time.
Breakfast in the usual, and you know what that is. You take off, yes, and you go into your father's study, which is where he receives breakfast in the mornings.
I'd like to believe Jake kicked down the door Alona style.
Up to Jake.
So
At least opened it up
through
aggressively.
the door.
Just
Open
throws them open.
I throw that door open like a mother. So you go in
There's
and
definitely a mark in the wall.
your father's he's sitting there, and your father's just super stoic, like really super cool dude, and he's sitting there and he's like, hello, Jake, please.
Father, a great injustice has been done. Auntie Ruth has been murdered.
I see your
and my bar has been attacked. And I will
What?
not stand for this. I need the power to do something about this.
He puts his cheese down aggressively. Ruth, my sister, has been murdered? By whom?
Yes. We don't know. They're investigating it now, and I need to have access to that information. I need
must-
to find this person and seek revenge in the name of the Melshimbers.
Jake.
Alona's gonna sneak in the door very quietly and just kind of try and make herself in a corner.
He sort of and he notices you. He has a way of noticing things without even looking at them. He's just this kind of guy that you notices everything around him, and so he sort of notices you and acknowledges you without ever looking at you, Elona. And he probably sighs a little bit, but
Was it her?
I'm still here, bitch.
he says Jake, I understand this is important. I know that your aunt was important to you, but remember, we are Melshimbers. We are not in the business of revenge. We are in the business.
We are when it's been our name has been attacked, Father. I believe this was an attack on me, and Auntie Ruth has died because of it, and I must make amends. If you won't give me the power, I will find the power myself.
Jake, we are not in the business of revenge. We are in the business, and he sort of picks his eyes up and he looks at you coldly, of justice.
And that justice should be mine. I
Jake.
had to hold Auntie Ruth in my arms as she took her last breath, which he's exaggerating now, but...
I understand, Jake, but look at me and understand. We are in the business of justice. Do you understand?
All I understand now is that somebody needs to pay for Auntie Ruth's demise and for attacking me and my friends.
Jake, and he even actually looks at Elona here. Elona, perhaps you can help Jake to hear me. Jake, someone needs to be held accountable for Auntie Ruth's demise, as justice is served, but we are not in the business of revenge or paybacks. We must.
But I want me and my friends to have the power to follow up this investigation and find this person to bring them to justice. It should be a Melshimber that brings this person to justice.
I see that you have heard my words, Jake. That is good. I shall make arrangements.
See that it is done as soon as possible. I believe it is Barnabas that is leading the investigation.
Barnabas. Wow, he's an old cat. Perhaps I should have a talk with him. Come, let us go. Is this just happened?
This literally just happened. I've come here from the scene of the crime.
Oh,
They're
well.
probably still investigating.
Oh, no doubt. This will take half a day at least. All right, very well then. I shall. He picks up his cheese. Short breakfast, I suppose. Fine then. I will call a driver and we'll make our way promptly. So you guys head out.
With my dad too, since he's leaving the house. He's probably going with my dad.
It is his bodyguard.
Yeah, well, your dad is used to be, but now your dad is like the head of the Melshimber estate. So your dad generally hands out, but your dad would sort of assign soldiers to there. So he would see you guys as you're heading out. So he would have he's gonna have a driver with a covered fancy wagon and then a retinue of soldiers, and your dad will sort of assign them. And as you're out there, your dad's looking at you. He's like, "Wow, they've really kicked the hornet's nest today, haven't they?" What do you know about this, my daughter?
A lot has happened,
I'm
and
sure.
I've never seen Jake this mad in my life.
Nor have I. Have you seen his eyes? They are,
Fucking weird, right?
I wasn't going to say it, but
Something's fucking off, and I need to know what it is. But also, I'm kind of afraid if I ask him, he's gonna shank me. I kind of think he's gonna shank me.
he looks at you and he sort of smiles a little bit. He's like, "You don't have to worry much about him shanking you, my daughter. Come on."
That's fair, but
Yeah.
still. I'd
Jake
rather
doesn't deal with loss well.
No, I noticed.
Now imagine it was Elona be lost.
Ooh.
No, they lost a member of their family today.
I heard. Aunt Ruth. Yes, she was not close to her brother, but she is still the brother of Samuel Melshimber, and that is no light thing. I imagine there will be well, this is a big deal in the city of Waterdeep. Be careful, my daughter. Things like this can get hairy quickly, and there are many forces that are above our station that we do not really want to be involved with. But your friend is clearly close to this, so take care of him. Look out for him.
I will. And just promise me you'll be careful.
Me? Oh, don't. Do not worry, my child. He affectionately sort of touches your cheek in this old sign of affection that he's used on you since you were a small, tiny child. Do not worry about me, my child. I have seen many, many summers, and I shall see several more if I have my wish. But look out for your friend. I worry for him. He's badly distraught.
I'll watch him. And she'll kind of turn, take a couple steps, and just go, "I love you," and then continue going.
Because remember the last time you saw him?
No, we were not good last time we spoke.
Flashback. The last time Elona saw her father ended
I blamed him for
with her
everything,
basically blaming everything, throwing the biggest guilt trip on the world on him, and then slammed the door in his face as she left.
Yeah, but someone in Jake's family died, and she couldn't deal if her father died, so she better tell him she loves him.
Aw. Yes, he looks away. He looks away quickly as his eyes are glistening.
Single tear.
No tears.
Back to me.
No tears. But he looks away quickly as his eyes glisten brightly in the early afternoon sun.
And before we jump into the carriage with Jake's dad, Alona's gonna pull Jake aside with the full knowledge she's gonna get shanked.
I can take it. I'm in full health.
She's tensing her abs.
I can dodge.
That it's probably gonna happen.
I'm officially using the dodge action as I talk to Jake.
Yeah. I'm using a key point for patient defense. No, she's gonna grab Jake's shoulders, which is great because she's so much taller than him. Jakey,
What, Elona? What?
I'll help you get to the bottom of this.
We have to find Aunt Ruth's killer.
We will.
This was an attack on us, I'm sure, and Aunt Ruth paid the price.
We'll find them and I'll fuck them up for you.
We'll both fuck them up. They're going to pay for this, regardless of what my father says. I will get justice in my own way. He's clearly like seething at this point, but he's not mad at Elona.
No,
And
but
the yelling at his father was more so like demands than it was.
anything. I know.
So
She's forcibly going to pull him into a hug.
no forcible needed. He's probably, yeah.
Weak as fuck right now and crying.
Oh, he's got the snotty face for sure. He's been wiping the snot away.
Disgusting.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
She's
fine,
gonna
I'm
hold him
crying.
in the embrace for like a second, and just let him go and go. When we get a chance, I need to talk about your fucking crazy eyes. And then she'll walk to the carriage.
Jake's visibly confused by when you say crazy eyes because he doesn't know what you're talking about.
That's fine. We can go to the carriage. Elona will not go in the carriage. She'll walk next to it because she can't fit.
All right.
Unless she's pulling her fucking knees up to her head.
Yeah.
She could sit up with the coach.
That's fair. She'll sit up in the front.
All right, fine. So you guys make your way back to the scene of the crime, and there is what seems like an eternity of long silence inside the cab of this coach as Jake and his father sit silently driving the entire way. And when you guys arrive,
Shit, you know what I should have done? Oh, fuck.
Missed opportunities.
I should have slipped him some drugs. God damn it! I'll get it at the bar.
So you guys arrive there, and the guard's there, and as you guys leave, your father pauses for a moment. He grabs your arm for a moment as you go to step out, and he's like, "Remember, Jake, what we spoke of. We seek justice."
I can keep my calm for now, Father, but I will get justice for our family.
Hear me, Jake. We seek justice, not revenge. You must remember that. And
I will, Father.
He lets you go, and you step out, and then he follows you. And the guards all, as this magistrate steps out there, like, oh, and they part. And even as he comes up, even Barnabas, as he comes up, he sort of gives a deferential nod, and he's like, Lord Melshimber, it is an unexpected pleasure to have you here. And Samuel says, yes, well, I heard that, and he looks over and he's like, and he sort of shrugs. And this strong, he's always this sort of tall, strong, very erect person, right? He always stands and sits in the proper manner. He always does everything properly. And for just a few moments, he sort of visibly sags as he looks at the charred corpse of his sister. And he walks over to her and looks down silently, and he turns and once again stands straight. Barnabas, my son here, he is to be informed of everything you find out in this investigation. You, of course, have the lead role in all of this, but I assume that you will work hand in hand with him, and he shall know all that you know, and together you shall find out what happened here this day. And Barnabas sort of like seems a bit taken aback for a moment, but he's like, yes, magistrate, of course. And he looks at his friend who's taking the notes, and his friend sort of gives him a shrug, and well, yes.
Don't worry, Barnabas. Me and my friends will be of great assistance in solving this case and finding the perpetrator of this heinous act.
Yes, I'm sure that you will. Yes. Anything else, Magistrate Melshimber, but we may do for you. And Melshimber sort of he seems solemn, and he says, "No, please see that my sister is properly cared to." And Barnabas like, "Yes, of course, Magistrate. Do not worry." And the Samuel sort of stops and takes one more look at Jake, and one more look at Elona. In fact, he gets into the coach. And he leaves.
When he looks at Elona, Elona's gonna mouth, "I'm sorry."
He looks at you briefly, and as you're saying that, he sort of is already turning away from you.
What a
That seems
bitch.
sort of-
I'm trying to be nice to him. I know he doesn't like me, but let me be nice to him, god damn it.
Technically, he did acknowledge your existence, though.
He did twice. He
Yeah.
asked for help talking to his son, and he acknowledged my existence. I'm moving up in the world in the eyes of Sammy.
All right, so man, it is a somber scene here
I'm gonna
in
grab Cole when I get a chance.
in Trollskull Alley.
Talk to Cole.
Barnabas, I trust that you will get the information you need. I must go and mourn now, but I will meet up with you at a later time after you have had the time to investigate the scene more thoroughly.
Yes. Well, we are interviewing the last of the witnesses now. I can, I suppose we can stop and debrief you on what we found once we're finished here. Where can I find you?
You can find me in my tavern, the Spirits of the Hydra, which will now need great repair, as you can see.
Wow, you two are This place has a lot of owners. Indeed, very well then.
It's a coalition.
Yeah, I see that. All right, so in all this time, John, what do you have going on here during this period?
He's been bonding with Leaf.
I mean, he's had the shot.
Yeah, that's long done. That's long done. And
he's been trying to find a way or think of a way to prove that he's not lying about the guy stabbing him.
all right, has it come up with anything?
I mean, I didn't really want to interrupt Lord Melshimber also vouching for his word, but he's already left. But he'd try and convince Jake once Jake is a little less worked up about also vouching for him and getting his father to vouch for him on the scene of being stabbed in their own bar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so unfortunately, it seems like the confrontation between you guys is at least very overshadowed by the tragedy out there outside. And what
He's
you guys
trying to convince some guards that this man still needs to be arrested for stabbing him.
Yeah,
That's
the guards.
the most he's trying to do.
Yeah, right now their entire focus is on what happened here, and there is no link whatsoever between that person and what happened here.
Right.
So he's actually interviewed and he's allowed to leave, and he takes off. So yeah, they sort of like chalked up, hey, you guys had some sort of interaction in the bar. He said, she said, maybe this, that. You've got the dragons that pays for your wound and the wine, and that's, you know what, in Waterdeep today, we'll just call that okay. As we try to sort out what happened to these 8 dead people here on the street.
Is there a less involved unit of the guard that I can complain to about this later? Well, once this more imminent disaster is more resolved.
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's lots of guard people around. In fact, you guys
Is this happening around Jake now? Like, does Jake now see Zavroski's wound and everything like that? Because Jake hadn't noticed this before, so I don't know where this is taking place 100%, and if Jake's actually...
Sure, we could, Jake, as you're sort of coming in here, with you kind of finish talking to Barnabas, and you see Zavroski sort of going around talking to different sort of guards, kind of pleading some case to them as you're hanging out here.
And bleeding.
Well, he's fine. I mean, remember,
it's not
combat,
like a major wound, but
yeah, combat isn't necessarily like just because you score a hit.
Damage would put Elona at half health.
Sure, just because you score a hit doesn't necessarily mean it's like an actual stab wound or an arrow sticking out of you. But if we want it to be that, it can be. You know what I'm saying? Like hit points are a very vague sort of thing. So sure, he's got some
points.
Yeah, he's got some kind of wound, which is fine. And if you guys want to notice that, that's fine too. For whatever makes a good.
Well, he's been pointing it out and everything. I just wanted to know if Jake had noticed at this point. Now that he's kind of calmed down, he's assessing situations.
I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Zavroski, what happened to you?
Well, as I was trying to tell everyone else, the man that I healed, the one man that seemed to survive the blast that I healed, I brought him back in for a drink, and then he said he didn't want to deal with the guards. He tried to pay me money to let him slip out, and I said no, and then he went to stab me, and he got the drop on me before I was able to use my magic to stop him and get the guards called in and take him outside.
Where is this man now?
They let him go.
They let him go? He attacked you at the scene of a crime and they let him walk away?
He was lying and being convincing enough with the fact that I used magics on him to steal his money or something. When we have plenty of money on our own business, I don't need this man's 10 dragons.
So wait, did you get his name? Did you get his face?
Urstel Bobson.
That sounds like a fake name.
Quite possibly.
Bob is a totally real name. What are you talking about?
No one knew him, so it's quite possible. But Zavroski will use a minor illusion to try and conjure up his face as best he can.
I think you can do that with illusions, right? You can kind of make it whatever you... Yeah, so
And-
you can sort of show, hey, this is the guy.
And I was speaking to him long enough that I might have picked up his voice a bit, and he'll talk like Urstel Bobson as best he can with his actor feat. He's
Yeah. So you can
pretty good at it.
Sure. All right, so you can kind of make a pretty good likeliness of this person.
But
He's not familiar to you,
that's all
Jake,
we
though.
have now.
We shall find him again. He will not get away with this.
Well, it would have
Do you
been
believe he
great.
had something to do with this?
He was likely involved in some kind of spat between whoever was actually fighting out here. He's not a normal commoner, that's for sure.
We'll have to discuss this further at a later point.
I was hoping your father and yourself could vouch for my word in this matter, but I'm not sure if it matters at this point. He's already gone.
I would definitely vouch for you, Zav. You know that I would always vouch for you. But if the man is no longer here, then I don't know what we could do unless we find him.
True.
So basically the day, a large part of the day goes by with this investigation, and you guys are kind of allowed to go your way. You shadow the guys here, and there are sort of two events that are going to take place when this whole thing is done. One is that Barnabas is going to reconnoiter with Jake, as he was ordered to by the magistrate, with the information that he found, doing the interviews with the different witnesses, investigating the crime scene, stuff like that. I know, Cole, you sort of were privy to a lot of that, so you have kind of some of this information already. But he'll sort of go to give that information to Jake. The second is that as you guys are coming back into the tavern, and Barnabas says, "I'll see you in here in just a moment, my friends." And I will meet you. And you guys kind of go back into the tavern and wait for Barnabas and his friend Sayeth or his note taker Sayeth to come inside. Renair, who's been sitting in there drinking apparently this entire time, because Renair is sitting swaying. He is Renair is like,
he would be.
Renair,
Of course he would be.
Renair says, "Wow, well, who knew that? Tell you what, guys, there's some things I should tell you."
Really?
About what, Renair?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to tell you right after this break, as we take a...
I tell you this. He looking like a man.
We take a short break. This will be another chop scene. We can edit that part out. I don't know how this is going to work. For those of you who are wondering, we are going to start doing the podcast version of Nerdly Gaming's Edgelords and Murder Hobos. So we're kind of breaking this into hour-long segments, and I don't know how podcasts work exactly, but we'll figure it out. The idea, I think, is that we're going to be releasing these as podcasts, and we can do something like every other day as a podcast. That gives us 6 days, and then the next day, boom, next episode of Nerdly Gaming. Right on. So we're figuring this shit out, man. We are you guys are with us now, or like absolutely our core fans, and we appreciate you guys a lot. But we're gonna be going and growing. We got a really solid crew here. I believe this. I'm just talking because I don't know why I'm talking, but we do. This is a fantastic thing. So we will, right after this break, we'll hear what Barnabas and Renair have to say about the investigation. See you in 4. 4.
It's very specific.
Very, very specific.
pretty. We just need a Roy. We need a DM Roy.
Oh, we're gonna get it. We're gonna have it'll get better. Don't worry. We're gonna continue to get better. We have some great support from our fantastic fans who are logging in today. We appreciate that. Dice Tyrants, it is fantastic to have you here. I really appreciate you stopping by, and I will 100% be in touch about that podcast thing because this is a totally new thing for us. So if that's something you guys have been doing, man, we could definitely appreciate your help. If you guys aren't watching Nerd League Gaming, because we're definitely the best stream on the internet on Thursday night.
We like to toot our own horn a little bit.
Absolutely. Hey, look, I'm not even legitimately, and I know I'm biased, legitimately, this is my favorite stream to watch. It genuinely is. I just love hanging out with these guys. I really, really do.
Love making Fox cry.
No, I don't love that.
I mean, that's pretty much the entire episode today.
Yeah, it's just been Fox crying.
Sometimes you gotta hurt the people you love. You know, it's that's how it goes, man.
It builds character.
That's right. I'm building character.
So much
Pain
character.
causes growth.
Maybe too much
So
character.
much character, Bill.
Anyway, yeah, when you guys aren't watching our stream, check out Dice Tyrants. It's a really cool stream. They have a lot of really cool stuff that goes on in there. I check them out occasionally whenever I can. So appreciate you having you guys around, and we'll be in touch about that podcast stuff. Let's see. As far as a voiceover. Okay, whoever's doing our podcast, do this for the end of the last thing. Renair catches you, and he says, "Friends, we should talk. I know that dead man." All right, boom. Excellent. All right, scene 2 opens up.
There were many
Which one? There were
Yeah, there
several.
were so many dead men. We talking good old shit boots? Is that what we're talking about?
Pretty sure he's talking about the Zens, but Jake doesn't know about the Zens yet.
Dead man. Well, actually, I guess he would say dead gnome. I know the dead
Okay,
gnome.
so he's talking about shit boots.
No, wait. Yes,
The gnome was the one with the shit boots.
talking about shit boots. Yes. All right. So you guys are in the tavern, and Renair, he's sort of drinking, and he's like, yes. So, I tell you, friends, I know that gnome. He works, I suspect, for my father. And he takes a drink.
I think you were right with the past tense because he's dead now.
Ah, indeed. Yes. I'll be honest with you, friends. The reason I was here this morning was not random, but because he had sent me a message to meet him here.
And you just didn't seem like you wanted to tell us you were meeting someone here?
Well,
As
I
in
wasn't really
The gnome sent you a message?
Indeed. He sent me an urgent message telling me that he had need of safe passage of something valuable. And I suggested we meet here, as I knew you, and I suspected that you might be able to help him with what he needed.
Is he part of the Zents?
He is not. You see, for a long time, I believe my father sent him to keep an eye on me. And for a very long time, everywhere I went, I would see him skulking around in the shadows. Several weeks ago, though, he disappeared suddenly. And I do not know where he has been in that time. But he said he was carrying something valuable for my father. Something incredibly valuable, but was unable to deliver it himself. And he was hoping that I could help him deliver it. And I thought that, well, who do I know that I can trust here in Waterdeep to be discreet and can help deliver something to my father? And I thought of you, who, of course, rescued me, and you've proven yourselves very capable with apparently several of the factions here in town and even opening this place. So I suggested we meet here. And now...
Renair, are you
lies-
telling me that you were here this morning not to offer the apology and to bring a man who is in danger to us?
No. The apology was deserved. And since I was here, I thought I may as well give the apology. But my main reason for being here was to meet Delacar, because he said he had something very valuable to my father that he needed brought to my father.
Do you think that this particular incident was actually an attack on you? That you were possibly the target of this?
I do not think so. I don't know. I was obviously not caught in the blast. I was not out in the street at the time of the blast. So surely it stands to reason that whatever he had, if it was valuable to my father, it was probably valuable to others as well. And if anyone else had some word that he was here and traveling there, well.
Renair, did you relay this information to anybody else?
You know, no one seemed to think it important to ask a lord of Waterdeep his opinions on the matter. So, no. You were the first to
Can you
know.
do me a favor?
Yes. Well,
Keep this to yourself. And do you have any more information on your friend and what he might have been carrying for your father?
that is what I don't know. That's what I came here to meet him to find out. He was very vague in his message.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Is there any way I can stealth out the door, grab the gnome, drag him into the bar to see what's on his person?
No, not drag him into
Damn
the
it.
bar. Could you stealth out of the bar to the gnome? Perhaps. But to pick him up and carry him inside?
If I stealth to the
Very-
gnome and rifle through his pockets really fast?
You could do that, yes.
That's the sound of a DM who doesn't want me to do it. So
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
no.
do
That's the
it.
sound of
I'm gonna
letting
do
you
it.
know that there are many people in the street and it's broad daylight. So you can definitely go out.
I'm
You
gonna
can
try.
definitely go to the gnome. And if you want to try to surreptitiously rifle through his pockets, you can, but it's going to be very difficult to do it without people taking notice. That's that.
I mean,
All right, let's
I'm
see.
a morning woman right now.
What do we
Maybe
make
it's
this? Make
Elona,
this.
Your lover, the gnome.
Elona, where are you going?
away. I'll be right back.
But Renair has all the information.
I'm sure you can listen. I believe in your abilities.
All right, so you can go to the gnome body. Sure, it's still out there. Everyone's sort of walking around. What is this? Is this a
Sleight of hand, probably.
sleight of? Is it pickpockets? What's pickpockets in 5e?
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
All right, roll me some sleight of hand, man. This is gonna be tough.
I have one inspiration, and I'm gonna use it.
Okay, go ahead.
Come on, Icky, don't fail me now.
Icky's inspiration does.
I also have inspiration that I can give to Elona.
Wait.
Roll again.
What's going on here? What is going
Jake,
on
let me
here?
use his inspiration.
Wait, hold on. What?
We've
I
done
see.
it before.
All right,
Let it happen
fine,
before.
fine. Fox's inspiration is gone. Elona. Okay, Elona, go ahead.
16. That's better.
It is better. All right.
Not great, but
Better. Thanks, Fox.
I try.
All right, so you search this gnome's body. You find the most interesting thing you find. He's got nothing much in the way of weapons. He's got like a dagger, sort of a standard dagger. He does have a small pouch that seems to have some hard rocks in it.
Okay.
Let's just say he has a pouch with some gems in it that you can pilfer.
Yeah.
All right, you take
Anything
it.
else?
That's the most noteworthy thing on his body.
Okay. I will return back to the group.
Okay, make me a perception check, Elona.
Lord. How many people have noticed me? Is that the perception check? 9.
None.
nobody saw
No
you.
one saw anything.
No one saw the 6'8" half orc walk over to a gnome, rifle through his pockets, and walk away.
All right, so you go back in. It turns out that this is a small pouch, and this pouch has 5 gems in it, each of which are worth about 100 dragons each. So you get about 500 dragons worth of gems in this little pouch.
I'm going to toss it on the table because I don't know if that's what he was talking about.
What is that, Elona?
Well, it's from our good friend's pockets from outside. It's the only thing that was on him besides like a dagger.
And the guards just let you take that. Didn't say
Oh,
anything.
let is a relative term. They didn't really notice me.
I looked around. No one was looking, I swear.
If I can't see them, they can't see me. It's really
I just closed my eyes while I was doing it. I was totally invisible.
Yeah. really, if anyone stopped me, I was gonna say it was from Rainier here, and then they probably would have let me go. So it's
Um,
fine.
Rainier sort of picks them up. He's like, "Oh, wow, these are very nice indeed. These
If
are
they're not
worth,
what you need, I want them back.
These are probably worth several hundred dragons, I would estimate. But
Could
Do you
this
think-
be what your friend was carrying?
They don't seem dangerous.
it's hard to imagine that even a handful of gems like this would be important to my father. He has
Okay, then I want them back.
tremendous wealth. Yes, of course, and he tosses them back on the table nonchalantly, like he's.
500 gold into my own personal.
And so, hang on, I actually have a, what do they call it?
A drop.
Parcel. Yes, it's not gold. This is
parcel.
you get a
Gold.
parcel. Shit, where's the?
God, I forgot we had like the ivory statue of a monkey in our fucking.
Oh, yeah, it's still sitting in there.
We have
Wow.
stuff to sell. We have stuff to sell.
You guys give the necklace back. I'm really proud of you for that, by the way.
I'm
Cool.
not Hector.
Listen,
I wanted that
Hector knows exactly what that necklace is.
Which is
Cole
why you
has
shouldn't-
no fucking idea.
Yeah, but imagine the fun that would have happened if you gave Elona that necklace.
Terrible, awful thing.
Horrible
Beautiful,
things.
wonderful
Horrible things.
As a
Could you
DM, I
get
think
the
that would be.
chat to
I
let
think those
Elona
things
have
would be
that necklace
amazing.
of Fireballs, please.
So these were the jewels that were on the gnome, though, and Jake knows that, and he's very suspicious right now. So he'll kind of pick up the bag, toss it to Cole, and be, Cole, is there anything special about these gems?
He'll catch the bag and turn on magic eyes.
Magic guys.
Oh, there it is.
Does anything ping?
Nothing.
No, they just look like regular gems.
There you go.
Someone either
I mean,
got
they're
to
very nice, but
and someone either got to him
A
before.
fine
I could.
gemstone. That's great. All right, so it's that's the description. A fine gemstone. Like this is the a fine gemstone.
Rainier, do you know if he was bringing the item with him, or if you would have stashed it somewhere?
Oh, I certainly expect he would have brought it with him. It seemed that he was here to transfer the item. I suspect.
There was nothing on
You
it
know-
other than that and a dagger.
I suspect that if he was bringing a pouch of those gems, that could have been a payment. That could have been the payment he would give to transport the item of value. If the payment was that large, this must have been an incredibly valuable thing. You don't suppose. Never mind. No.
No.
Suppose
Say it.
what?
Speak.
All
Nothing's out of
information
the
is
question.
pertinent
Please.
right now.
use your words.
So there are rumors, of course, that an incredible sum of dragons was embezzled by my father.
Yeah, we know that we've asked you about this before, Renee.
Multiple times.
Multiple times. It's brought up.
I suspect it is folly, though there are. Well, I don't know, but there are rumors that perhaps that is truth. Obviously, he couldn't have been bringing that, but if there were some information about such a thing, such a hoard of wealth, well, that would be pretty valuable indeed, now wouldn't it?
So you're just saying that he brought like a piece of paper with some like directions, like a pirate map on it?
I can only imagine what he brought. I'm only surmising from this that these gems could have been some payment to bring this thing of value to my father. I know that he had a thing of value he wanted brought to my father, but what this thing is apparently has been
I mean,
lost or
if
taken
it
from
was
him.
Anything about the lost wealth, then it is something people would be killing for. So it's not. out
Indeed,
of
it
the
would.
realm.
Though
It
that
could've
type of
explained why the
wealth,
vents were all there.
I have a hard time believing that there's any truth to that. That type of wealth is possibly hard to hide. Come
I
on.
just want to confirm, is this post Barnabas debriefing?
No. In fact, as you guys are talking, Barnabas makes his way in, and he was like, yes, you're all here. Well, and he sits down, and he looks over at the bar, and he's like, oh, this is thirsty work, I tell you. If I could, I just suppose
What's
you
your
guys.
friend Barnabas?
A solid ale if you've got it would be just fine for me.
Leaf, if you would.
Yes, and the guy next to him says he whispers into Barnabas' ear. He's like, my friend saith here, he will take one as well if you could.
Yep.
All right,
Coming
so
right up.
these drinks float across, and Barnabas was like, fascinating. you have this safe? He's like, yeah. And Sailor, yes, I suppose so. Whoa.
We tie it to a string and we pull it along. It's a trick.
A string? I don't see any strings.
Well, that's the point. Is it's really tiny, so you can't. It's just a trick. Just can we get along?
There,
with it?
there's
It's
a
been
pulley
long
system hidden
day.
in the roof. It's crazy.
really cool, but also like, can we just get along with this? It's been a long day.
It has indeed been a long day, and I am required by the magistrate to report what I've found with Jake here. So, very
What
well.
you share with me can be shared with all of my friends here, so speak openly, Barnabas.
Very well then. Nope, that's not it. Okay, I have spoken to several people, and this.
If,
There are a few things I've.
Barnabas-
Yes.
if Barnabas leaves anything out that I've overheard, Cole is gonna immediately jump in.
Okay. He mentions, sort of a lot of things. A lot of it is sort of, in fact, he gets the notepad from his friend and he looks at it and he goes over it. And a lot of it is, I didn't see anything. I ran. And this is the guy that, like, as he talks, you recognize this is like a really sort of like just the facts, ma'am kind of guy, right? He is a really sort of straight-laced logician where he collects data and analyzes it and like doesn't jump to conclusions, has a really sort of keeps his mind and his eyes open for what's going on. He says, okay, here's what I have sort of asked, and he goes over this whole list of things and quotes. He mentions the thing. In fact, he does mention the things, Cole, that you heard earlier, which involve let's see. He talked to yes, I talked to Fala Lafalier. She mentioned that she was watering plants in her greenhouse on the second floor. She says that she saw some small, thin creature go over to one of the bodies, the gnome, I believe. Stand by it briefly, perhaps pocket something, and then run off, headed to the east. But that she's a flighty one. Her, I don't know what I feel about that. A more reliable witness mentioned that he saw this creature that was not. He looks at says not a man. It says a puppet without strings. Not sure what that means exactly.
A puppet without strings, you say?
Yes, like a.
What about the fancy toys those nobles have? That
So I was trying to remember the name of.
through the city. We saw one the other day.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Zavroski. That fits the description of a puppet without strings perfectly.
Nimblewright is what you're thinking of.
Yes,
Yes.
an Nimblewright.
I thought the same thing myself. That is true. Not many people have them. In fact, and he had details on this one. He said that this one was made of burnished copper and pale wood. It wore a red robe with a foppish hat with a feather in it, and it had a long, stylized beard, which I find very interesting. Though Nimblewrights, I mean, they are simple constructs, so perhaps all Nimblewrights look alike. I'm not clear on that. It's we'll follow up on this, of course, but he says that's what he saw. But he claims that this Nimblewright caused the explosion, hurled something into the crowd, and now this is where, and he looks at Cole, I must admit, I feel you may have corroborated this. He said that he saw it hurl some stone into the crowd and cause the explosion. And this necklace he pulls out that you gave me, if I'm not mistaken, this necklace could do such a thing. These pearls here, each of them are incredibly dangerous and comprised of powerful magics. It is a good thing that you turned these over to me, Mr. Voidfang.
Inside Cole's head, he's going, I should have kept that.
And he says, but no, this is a key piece. So it seems that based on the eyewitness testimony, this Nimblewright, if this is to be believed, had this necklace and threw a fireball into Trollskull Alley, exploded, killing all of these people. I see that, and okay, so that's what I know from the witnesses. Now, from the crime scene itself, it seems to me that based on the positioning of the bodies and such, the gnome that was there was perhaps, I don't know about running, but perhaps avoiding pursuers. It seemed that the three, it seems that there were humans that were chasing the gnome during when they were all attacked, and this gnome, apparently, from what I can tell, seems to have been headed towards your place of residence here. But it also seems that everyone involved was caught largely by surprise. No one seemed to have, including you, but you were not involved. Everyone that was hit by that blast seemed to have been caught by surprise. No one had any moment to protect themselves. It caught them very, very off guard. So from what I can tell, this gnome was coming here. He was being accosted by some other people. These
are the three men with the dragon tattoos on their necks? Snakes. Sorry, snake tattoos on their neck.
Flying snakes.
Yes. Well, the two of them do, indeed. Yes. That's what we know so far. We, of course, will continue to follow up on this. And if you have any ideas or leads for how we can pursue this, I am very open to it. Lord Melshimber.
I wish I had more that I could give
That
you.
Nimblewright sounds like a great follow-up if you're able to find who actually owns that.
Or
that
at least who
Nimblewright?
constructs them? Who makes these things?
Who makes them? I'm not sure who makes them, but I know the Temple of Gond. They manage the Nimblewrights in the city. Perhaps they create them in there, or perhaps they're created elsewhere. But the Temple of Gond, they manage who gets the Nimblewrights, and it is based upon donations to their church. And
Okay, the
Temple of Gond, Gond.
The description that we got of this Nimblewright, does it match the one that we ran into previously, or do they look different?
Actually, from what you can remember, it does match the same thing, but.
It looks exactly the same?
Exactly. I mean, it seems like the same thing. Yeah. These are constructs. So these are like, Pinocchios, right? These are carved wooden toys. So.
Okay. I was kind of hoping that, like, if it looked different, we have something.
Yeah, maybe
to
they
look
don't.
for.
They don't all have giant beards. Who knows?
Yeah. No.
This Nimblewright sounded somewhat unique. So.
Yeah, the one that you saw and the description of this one sounds like the same thing.
Okay. So we need to find who makes these things or who purchases these things, because there's not that many.
There's not that many. That is true. Well, don't worry yourselves about that. Don't worry. The City Watch has this well under control. We will be looking into this as our resources allow us to. Don't you worry. We'll uncover this mystery, citizens.
I trust you, Barnabas, that you'll be able to take care of this with the watch, and we'll follow you up if we have any further information or to get any information that may be coming forward with the case. We do thank you for your time.
I appreciate that, Mr. Jake Melshimber. I do appreciate that greatly. If you don't mind, I would like to file my reports and head home for the day. It's been a long day for all of us.
Of course. But we've gotten all the information we can out of Barnabas right now, right?
Sure.
As far as him debriefing us.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
are they done? Are they done with the bodies so we can go take care of Auntie Ruth?
Oh yeah, so they, so the other part is, of course, bringing the bodies to be handled, and so during that, you guys can take charge of Auntie Ruth's remains, if you'd like.
Elona would pick her up.
Yeah.
Because I don't want Jake having to, and
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who can pick her up.
So she's pretty gross. She's oozy and gross and
When does
burned,
that bother
and
Elona?
yeah, and she smells like burned people.
Zavroski would try and make it less terrible. Like the burning smells and stuff, he'd use prestidigitation as best he can to.
All right, fair
I
enough.
assume the
What he can.
Melshimbers have like a private graveyard.
Yeah.
My
They've
guess
got a
is they're
crypt
bougie
that you
enough
could-
to have their own
Sure.
private graveyard.
Yeah.
So let's make our way up there.
A catacombs, if you will.
Yeah.
Well, so they're
Under
normal
the manor or some
traditions.
shit.
Normal traditions would be some sort of like internment where they would have some sort of visit, like a sort of funeral type of thing. So, I don't know if you would bring her straight to the crypt so
We'll
much
bring it
as,
to where the funeral would be held.
Yeah,
is
yeah, you
where,
can bring-
like
you can
there'd
bring
be a
the-
morgue.
You can bring it to the estate, and when you get to the estate, the guards are sort of like we have been expecting you. Thank you, and they very very respectfully take her remains, and they say Lord Melshimber says he shall let you know when the final rites shall be spoken, and she will be interred into the Melshimber crypt. Thank you for bringing her here. We appreciate it. And it's a
And
somber-
Jake would embrace her one more time with like a kiss on the forehead.
Ooh,
You
that's
shall be missed,
disgusting.
Aunt Ruth.
She's like,
and I shall see that your killers are brought to justice. He's kind of whispering that to her dead corpse.
And as he's leaned over there, Cole will put a hand on his shoulder and say, "The Raven Queen will take care of her on the other side. This I know for sure."
Thank you, my friend.
As we're, I assume, walking back to
You
the
guys are-
tavern. As I assume we are walking back to the tavern, Elona's going to take a small capsule of wish, find her way to holding Jake's hand, and like one of those, like when someone thinks they're handing you money and like sliding it off, she's going to do that with the tablet of wish. And then she will continue to walk forward, not even acknowledging that it happened.
This is not something you snort, it's a pill, right?
It's a pill. It's a capsule that you have to pop open and then you snort it. So you have to pop open, line a surface with it, snort it, and then
Okay.
you should probably ask Elona how to do this since you don't know how it's done.
He just eats it.
Shit, no!
actually.
Parachute.
Actually, it's suppository. It's gonna go straight up your ass.
Oh no. Jake, what do you?
So that's why you go into private to do it.
So Jake, what are you doing with that?
Well, right now he's in the pot. He's not, obviously, this isn't a place to pop it open and start popping drugs.
Sure.
That's bitch talk.
All right. So what's this evening look like? Certainly, Trollskull Alley is very quiet. As you guys get back to the alley, it's getting on into the evening, and all the residents of the alley are sort of out in the alley, sort of quietly chit-chatting. It seems it's one of these scenes where you guys kind of go in, and the alley that's usually very quiet, where people are sort of in their own places, they're all out tonight, and they're talking, almost sort of bonding, kind of leaning on one another, sort of sharing stories of different things. This hit the Melshimber family particularly hard, but a tragedy like this in the Trollskull Alley, it definitely sort of brings out the neighbors, right? And they're all sort of kind of out there. And as you come in, they kind of wave at you. You have like several people in the alley waving at you that you've seen casually, but they're all out in case anybody wants to say anything to anyone.
I would suggest closing the tavern for the night and letting us kind of all sit and drink if we feel like that vice will assist us. And
Are
talk.
there any candles in the tavern? I assume yes.
I think I have candles on me.
Because there was 8 dead bodies, including Auntie Ruth.
Mhm.
Then Jake wants 8 candles to put out in front of the spirit of the Hydra to light each one for each soul that needs to be guided to the afterlife tonight.
Zavroski's down for leading a somber vigil.
Oh yeah, the sad dirge by Zavroski. What's that sound like? What's that sound like, John? Give us some lyrics. Come on, John.
I haven't had time to think of lyrics for tonight.
He doesn't have death lyrics prepared because no one was expecting to murk Auntie Ruth. Elona will find her way into the bar and probably do some wish.
He's gonna sit outside on like the steps up to the tavern and kind of play a somber tune on his lute for everybody in there.
All right.
After Jake's lit the candles, he will kind of ask Zavroski for access to his library.
Of course.
Yep. So you guys are lighting candles, and Elona goes inside and she's doing her stuff. And Jake, as you're sort of like sitting out there, kind of quietly contemplating, an old acquaintance of yours comes up to you, and
Not a good time.
Not a good time.
he sort of comes up and he is like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Oh, it's Kuroki. Okay. And Jake will turn. He reckons, Kuroki,
Yeah,
you got my letter.
I got your bird, man. You said you needed the wish. I could hook you up, but it's man, hard times on Wish. But it looks like you guys got a lot going on. Maybe I should come back another time, or you need this now? What do you?
No, I think at this point in time we need it more than ever.
Yeah.
Do you have it on you?
I do. But let me tell you, man, it's hard to come by now. Apparently, the supply got hit hard, and it's not cheap. It's not cheap, Jake.
What's the price, Kuroki? Let's head inside. Let's head inside. It's my associate that needs it more than me, but
Yeah. All right.
let's head inside and we will talk because I don't know anything about buying this stuff.
All right. Let's go. Sure. So he,
So Jake will bring Kuroki to Elona,
Who's just finishing up, like doing a fucking line.
yeah.
and this is
And-
when Jake will take out his and he's gonna get into the drugs now.
Oh
She's
shit.
gonna show him how to properly take wish. So you pop open the capsule, line a surface, snort that shit. You'll feel good in about 32 seconds.
Woo!
Holy shit.
Guys, Jake was supposed to get me off the drugs. I wasn't supposed to get Jake into drugs.
Well, Auntie Ruthie wasn't supposed to die either, so
That's
Here's how it goes. So you're finishing up, Elona, and into the room walks Jake, followed closely behind by Padgim Grows, and he looks like, Elona, what?
Patty!
You're the yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
What up, Elona? Oh man.
wait, you know Kuroki?
What?
Oh, this is awkward.
It's Patty.
Yeah, Patty.
To me, he's Kuroki.
I'm totally croaky, yeah. Hello? Look, what's important here is you want wish, right? But the problem
that's really
is...
the only important thing. I really don't give a fuck. what you name it.
Right. So, hey, look. You know, it's no problem, right? You know I got you, Elona. You're my favorite. Jay, you and Elona, you head blown. Are you kidding me?
I love Patty.
When you said you had a client, I didn't know you met my favorite client. Are you kidding?
So wait, I'm confused.
What? Yeah.
I thought you couldn't get from your supplier,
Yeah,
Elona?
that's what he fucking told me that I couldn't get from him.
Oh, no. What I meant was the supply is dry. Now, I can always still get a little bit of the supply, but
You
Girl,
said you couldn't get any.
oh no, it's hard, but it's pricey, Elona. It's pricey. I don't know if you want to pay.
It's not pricey for me, is it? Do you care about your kneecaps?
Look, Elona, I'm the supplier, Elona. We've been through this before. I know you threatened me. I threatened you with
then you usually back down when I threaten you, and then actually punch you in the throat a little bit.
Sure. But fact remains is that I have the stuff, and look, it sucks. Okay.
How much do you have?
I have a 10-day on me.
Only a 10-day?
Look, the 10 days.
You know that's not how much I normally get.
A 10-day is hard to get right now. Let me tell you. And let me tell you what the price is. You're not going to like this.
What's the
20
price?
dragons for a 10-day.
No big fucking deal. Here you go.
What? I meant 30 dragons.
No, it's not 30 dragons. Try that again.
Okay, fine.
Listen, I recently acquired some money in a gambling game for hands.
I see
I got
that.
20.
Holy shit. He's shocked because he's
I
known
don't
you.
have that money ever.
Yeah, he's known you for a long time, and usually he's trying to get you like the best deal he can. And he seems genuinely distraught because he's like coming into this thinking you can't possibly afford this, and he's gonna have to tell you can't afford this, and he's gonna have to get his kneecaps broken, and he's not happy about any of this. So he's like, but at the end of the day, the price is the price, and he is like, this is it. So when you tell him, oh, you have this money, he's like, he like breathes this clear sigh of relief. He's like, oh. I go home.
But I do want to point out that it's now only half a 10 days worth.
Did you take the other half?
He's already gone through it.
No.
He's mourning.
No.
This is a mourning period.
No, she'd give it to you if you asked, but it's going to her hands first, bitch.
No, that's fine, but you've got him hooked on, so he's obviously like buddies.
You
Really?
can decide
You
if you're
really
hooked on it or not.
God
A
damn.
second.
Well, he's mourning, so I mean, he liked the feeling. It
it's
cheered him up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's
It's
waking
fantastic.
him up, and he's
It
got a
is-
lot of reading to do.
It is super up. It is super up. It is super high. It is fantastic. Yeah, it's a great high. It's a great high. And so Pat Gimmel's like, okay, here. He's like, hey, look. Look, I'll come back in a 10-day. I'm scrounging. I'm getting everything I can. But I don't know who messed up the supply, but whoever messed up the supply really, really fucked up the supply. So, take your business up with them because.
I'm still working on it. As soon as I find them, they're going to get a little taste of Elona. It's
All right.
fine.
I think you should. And look, you let me know. Because if you find that, Elona, we can do
Oh, well-
business. Me and you can do some business, Elona. You hear what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
You let me know.
I will let you know.
All right. See you in a 10-day. Hey, Jake. Great talking to you, buddy.
Good seeing you, Kuroki. See you in 5 days, bud.
You give me the bird whenever you need more. You just give me the bird. All right. I'll see myself out. You guys mind if I grab a drink on the way? Is that good? We're
Oh, you're all
good.
good. Whatever you want, hon.
Whatever I
for it.
want. Oh, this is fantastic.
One drink.
Oh, how's it feel, Alona?
One
How's it feel?
drink.
How's it feel,
One
Alona?
drink. I told him one drink. Try that again.
All
One
right.
drink, Patty.
So Patty / Croaky takes off, and
Our drug dealer is the same.
Who would have known?
So
Small
if
world.
Jake is feeling better,
oh, Jake's feeling pretty good right now.
so Jakey, is now the time to talk about your crazy purple eyes?
What are you? You mentioned this before. What are you talking about?
Yeah, when you were yelling and real upset, your eyes flickered like a black purple, and it was terrifying, but also really, really cool.
I assure you, Elona, I have no clue what you're talking about. I was just angry. In the moment, I was full of rage. I honestly don't even remember most of it right now. It's kind of, I was seeing red. It was like more of a blur.
Well, that's
But I
probably
got the
funny.
information we needed.
I mean, I'm just more concerned for your well-being because most people's eyes aren't purple. I know mine are red, but that's like a thing. Most people, your eyes are never purple. They've never been. I've known
Cole's
you.
eyes are purple when he does magic eyes.
Okay, well, listen. Doesn't pay that much attention to Cole. He's not on her radar that much.
Maybe you should. Maybe Cole should be on the radar.
You've seen him do it several times. I'm just saying.
Think she pays attention? I'm just saying, Jakey. Never happened before. I'm concerned.
I'm sure it was just, I don't know what it could be, but I'm sure it had something to do with just being mad. I've never heard of anything like that, but I mean, I have just stepped into the weave and learning these to control magic, so it could have maybe had something to do with that.
Okay, just
Maybe I'll find answers in my reading because I plan on studying magic to become more powerful. I'll find the power to avenge Aunt Ruth. I promise you that.
His eyes are wide. I'm gonna read forever and ever.
she's gonna take half of the 10-day and hand it to Jake, but she's gonna look him in the eye and go, "Just this shit's powerful. Don't do it all tonight." And
Trust me, Elona. I know how to handle my drugs.
do you?
That's half of a lie, but
Yeah, I'm like, do you though?
he's only ever really been a drinker, so.
No, well, don't do it all tonight. Only do it when you need it, because otherwise it's just gonna fuck you up real good.
Trust me, Elona. I'll be okay.
Okay.
And thank you for this. It helps.
Oh, I know. I'm aware it helps.
Yeah.
And he'll kind of walk out because he has plans to go to Zav's library.
And then
All
Elona
right.
will go find Cole.
Cole? Uh-oh.
Cole.
What's happening with Cole?
She has questions for Cole. Where is Cole?
Zav, what's your plans for tonight? Haven't heard much from Zav in a while. What are you doing tonight, Zav? I know it's a sad day. The candles are lit outside on the porch. Your friends are sort of heading upstairs doing drugs. What's Zav got going on this evening?
Zavroski is probably gonna try and see if he can drown his sorrows a bit with drinking, or if that doesn't work too well, he might chat up a beautiful girl outside in the community.
I was gonna see if you wanted more drugs. Everyone gets drugs. You get drugs, and you get drugs.
That's pretty easy for Zab, but yeah, you absolutely, between your pretty looks and your silver tongue, you can, hey now,
Well now.
Oh,
you
and the vapors.
oh, that's what she said. You can, yeah, certainly drown your sorrows in whichever way you'd like. Okay, fair enough. Elona, what do you have to do with Cole?
Where is he?
Cole is at the top of the stairs with a bottle in hand, drinking.
Oh. Oh, it hit you too. All right. Let's
Because she was nice. She didn't have to be, but she was nice.
I feel like Elona is taking this the best out of everyone, which is concerning to me in many ways.
Not very many nobles have been nice to Cole or his family.
And Elona's probably, kind of used to people dying. Like, that's kind of a thing, right?
She did love Auntie Ruth. I think
Look,
it's more that Jake is very much not okay, so Elona has been shocked into being okay.
And
She's being strong for him.
I see.
It's also, residual coming off of Jake, why he's also depressed. Because his buddy's really sad.
That negative energy is definitely
it's dispersed in the entire bar.
Yeah. So there's a scene in the lower part of the bar. There's a scene where Zavroski is he's drinking, right? And he hasn't gone out fishing just yet. But he's drinking. He's in the bar and he's playing tunes, and the few people in the bar are happy about the songs he's playing, but he doesn't care. Like, at this point, he's just like, whatever. He's kind of doing his own thing, having his own drink. And then just across the room, Elona and Cole sit on the bottom of the stairs. Cole with a bottle in hand, and Elona sort of twitching. Yeah. And that's the scene right now. So the three of you are sort of in this room on opposite sides of the room, but all of you sort of in this sort of desolate, sort of looking for some kind of consolation type of thing. And Elona, you approach Cole, I think, right?
She'll sit down next to him on the stairs and just kind of look over for a second.
He'll hand over the bottle. Hey, how is he?
Real fucked up.
Yeah, I did not know he was that close to his aunt. She was, I only met her once, but she was very nice to me, and that's not usually my experience with nobles.
She was very accepting of a lot of people.
Yes.
So I
Very
think
much
that's
so,
why Jake's been fucked up.
Yeah, you think he's going to be okay?
I don't know. I've seen him angry before, but never that bad.
Yeah, I've been a friend of his for quite a while now, and I have never seen him not be jolly.
Same. Even when he gets the shit beat out of him. Somehow he's still laughing. Don't know how that works, but all right.
Yeah, it's we just need to be there for him and help him in this investigation. My situation with the Raven Queen. We can wait about that.
I
This-
actually had a question about that.
Really? Okay. I mean, I'm not really a religious person, but I can answer what I can.
Well, I don't read, so I don't know much about gods or anything like that, and the people who I have met who are really into gods are kind of pricks. But she controls, like, when you die, right?
Yes, she makes sure the moment of death is just and at the appropriate time.
Well, what happens when it's not?
A soul will, from my understanding, which is very minimal, a soul that has been taken early usually ends up in limbo.
Can you get them back?
Not with as strong as we are. That is very, very powerful magics. Some that I'm not even sure we would even have access to.
But, like, if someone were to start going about trying to do that, where would they start?
I mean, I could try to commune with the Raven Queen to see, but when I contacted her about my father, all I got was a clue.
All I'm wondering is if it's possible.
I mean, there are druids that can bring someone back from the dead. They might not be exactly how they were before, but they can bring them back. But that is a very, very high-powered druid.
And what happens if you don't necessarily know where they are, like their body, but you know they're gone?
Oh well, with that, I believe with that type of magic, you're not necessarily in need of a body. You just need to know this the spirit is willing to come back.
You said a druid?
A very high, powerful one. Yes.
Okay.
But I don't know any. And
You-
the only other option would be a very powerful cleric, but I don't think they have the correct magic that would be needed.
If you find out more, either through the Raven Queen or just reading, just let me know what you'd have to do.
The next time I am in contact with her, I will try to ask.
Okay.
She's usually very vague in her answers, but I will try.
Thank you.
Whoa.
And Elona's gonna take another sip and then hand it over to Cole, and then kind of lean on Cole a little bit for some form of comfort, because she's not okay right now.
Oh.
She's
And
gonna lean on his shoulder.
Cole will tentatively put an arm around her and just like kind of give her a hug and bring her in and show her a little tenderness.
And there is a small, little, barely audible whimper that comes from Elona.
And Cole will ignore it completely and just continue to comfort.
Oh, are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What's going on here?
Bees, not the time, bees.
Bees. Shame on. Oh, for
Someone ban
fuck's
bees.
sake, bees. Really? Oh, great. Now that's in our podcast. That's great. See what you did, bees? Are you happy? Are you proud of yourself now? Really? Are you proud of yourself? He probably is.
Of course he is.
Fine. All right. So this tender moment.
I'm actually crying, guys.
Yeah, Auntie Ruth sadly has died. blown up in a fireball, apparently. You guys have found out a lot of information about this fireball. You know everything that Barnabas knows. There are several pieces of information that you can use to try to figure out what's been going on if you want to. You've been assured, of course, that the City Watch is hard on the trail. So, that, too, is an option. But for tonight, Auntie Ruth is dead. Her body has been taken back to her family's estate, and she will be interred. She will be interred in her family estate. Plans looking forward. So tomorrow is, of course, another day. Who has any plans for tomorrow? Let's just get a really quick touch base with plans for tomorrow for Zavroski.
Zavroski does realize he should probably talk to the Castle Lanterns. Sort that out.
Oh, because they've invited you to tutor their children. Yep. All right.
He's been quite busy with a dragon and an explosion, but...
Yeah, sure. You got a lot going on. Understandable. All right, so you're thinking of touching base with the Castle Lanterns for that job opportunity. Very well. Elona, any ideas for what tomorrow might bring for you?
She needs to go talk to her father about her mother's death.
What? Wow. All right. So Elona is okay. Note to self. Figure out. Gotcha. Okay. Good. Cole Voidfang. Any ideas what tomorrow's going to hold for you?
In the morning, he's gonna check on his friends, make sure everybody's okay.
Well, the answer is no already. You don't.
Yeah.
Well,
sure,
at least not dead in their bed.
At least not coked out of their mind, Jake.
And if he sees everybody's alive, he's going to take the morning to go visit Ambrose Everdawn and talk to him.
Oh, follow up on that. Oh, yeah. In fact, tonight when you sleep, of course, you have the same dream you had last time, which is you find yourself in the form of you seem to be sort of flying above the city, and you land overlooking the city of the dead, and you see a grave exploding and a skeleton coming out of the grave and leaving the grave, and you feel remorse and hurt by this travesty upon being wreaked upon the dead. It's the same dream you've been having for a couple of
Several days
now.
Yeah.
So the usual for you. And so tomorrow you're going to follow up with Sir Ambrose Everdawn. Got you.
Yeah, just have a conversation with him.
All right.
You know, throw out the Vajra connection and be like, "Pa!" Lay it on the table.
Boom,
for him.
boom. All right. So you're going there. Jake, Dean, Melshimber. Any idea what tomorrow's going to hold for you?
Library, reading, studying, looking for power.
Studying what?
Looking for power, specifically magical power, places of magical power, places where he could direct more magical energy.
I mean, I can talk to somebody for you.
Well, he's specifically reading books right now. He's focused. That's why he's in the library. He's looking for magic because he knows
There's a
knows
magic
Cole.
shop across the street too. So.
Yeah.
That's true.
So you're not looking
He
into
knows
the
Cole. He
investigation.
knows Cole doesn't have the power right now, and he doesn't believe. In this state of mind, he's not thinking Cole has the power to do that he's looking for. He's looking for more power than that. He also hasn't seen the power of the Raven Queen other than these visions she gives Cole. So
Yeah. And the Eldritch Blast thing, which is pretty cool. So, but you're not. So you're not following up on the.
but I mean,
investigation.
he can use a chromatic orb. So I mean,
Sure. So you're not following up on the investigation so much as you are looking for that power, trying to make yourself more.
Find a new source.
find that a new source of energy, a new source of magical power outside of the weave. He doesn't believe the weave is powerful enough.
What?
Oh, good. Good God. Help us.
And so he's reading up on any magical sources he can find that will
Don't
show him
thought
to.
Elona was the chaotic one. She's about to have to play mom.
I'll point out that Jake is chaotic neutral. Or chaotic good, sorry.
So it's cool.
Jake doesn't
So is
think
the
the
whole
weed
party?
is
So is
powerful.
Elona, yeah, we're all
this is the
chaotic
cat neutral
good.
party. This is like clearly.
This is why we
Um,
get along so well.
All right, so man, this is a tough session. The explosion outside killed several Waterdeebians, including one very close to our hearts, and that that kind of sucks, but it happens. And so the city is of course on the case, and they'll figure this out at the pace that cities figure things out. I'm sure that'll be soon ish.
Sure. 6 years.
In the meantime, the party might also be on the case. They're each pursuing this in their own separate ways. I think this is pretty wild. So thank you for tuning in with us tonight. Next week we're gonna have the merch shop officially launched online. If you're listening to this on podcast, is that a thing yet? I don't know. We'll find out pretty soon. I guess we'll be there, man.
Plug Sunday.
Sunday. Oh yeah, so Sunday.
Plug Sunday.
Sunday. What time is that? Anna, tell us about Sunday.
Sunday will be our first hopeful episode of 10 Candles, a tragic horror RPG with a bunch of cool people. It is very dark, should be very interesting. It should be on right around 9 p.m. EST, run for about 2 to 3 hours, depending on how long my lovely squad of victims live.
Did you say victims?
They're victims.
Oh,
Everybody dies. The
Oh,
whole
what?
point of this game is that everybody dies.
spoiler alert! Wait, hold on.
It's not a spoiler. It's knowledgeable if you know the game. But if you guys want to come join us on Sunday for what should be a very interesting, spooky, gothic time, 9 Eastern, Fox will be there. He's one of my first victims, as well as a bunch of other fun individuals.
And you guys are streaming that right here on
Yep.
Nerdly Gaming.
We are.
Baby. All right. So Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 10 Candles. I hope to be there, but I probably won't. But some of these guys will be, including some others like Booze. Are you kidding me? What? What?
Yes, please, you need to go to Hot Topic and buy an outfit. If you're not dressed in all black, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, I can't be there because Saturday night for me is the Crew du Vu here in New Orleans. If you've never heard of it, it's kind of crazy.
It's a big ass party.
It's kind of a big ass party. It really is.
So he'll be hungover all Sunday and can't play.
Well, I have family obligations, and I will absolutely be hungover. And but the family thing may pay me. But I mean, who knows? We'll see. Anyway.
Come chat. Come say hi.
Thanks a lot for everyone who joined us tonight. We absolutely appreciate if you want to give us a big follow here on Twitch. That'd be fantastic. We're going to be giving a much bigger presence on YouTube. So find us on the YouTube station. That'd be really fantastic. We got the Fax Fox. He's on Saturday afternoons. You can find him doing his thing, which Lord knows what this Saturday is going to bring, but it's always entertaining, I'll tell you that. Sunday is Anna. Tuesday next week is Grognards. And Thursday next week, of course, we're going to find out what happens with the rituals with Auntie Ruth, and if we can find out what the hell is going on in the city and who threw this motherfucking fireball. Until then,
Right.
No!
God, you guys are amazing.
Thanks for the sub, Night Trace.
And